All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Hello, and welcome to the Alpha X Scrims. We have got a fantastic four-player tournament for you today, and I could not be more excited to bring you the very best that Alpha X Scrims has to offer. Here it is, Massa versus Eric, followed by B versus Art. Best of fives, best of seven finals, and these players are so excited to be playing for an $80 prize pool. Should be a hell of a good series of games, and I'm super jazzed to see who's going to make it through. So, hello and welcome. You can see the bracket right there, if you look closely. Right there. There's the bracket. It's we're starting with Massa versus Eric. Massa from Canada, Eric from Brazil, Terran versus Zerg. You can hear the countdown sound going on in my ears right now and in your ears as well. We're going to be counting down to game number 1 in this first series. So we are guaranteed at least, let's count here, 5, 8, 11 fantastic games with possibly as many as 17. It's going to be great fun, and I'm super happy to bring these games to you. Ladies and gentlemen, the first game already in progress. We're going to get in here on the map Triton LE. Now let's talk about map choices. As usual with these sort of casual, lower value tournaments, there's no veto system in place. There's nothing too complex going on. It's simply loser chooses next map. Now, how's the first map chosen, you ask? Me. This guy. Right here. I'm picking the maps to start with, and I'm doing so in the most fair manner I can possibly imagine, which is to say, Google.com's random number generator. Boom. We're live. Game number 1. Let's introduce our two players here in the top left-hand corner in the blue. From Team Alpha X, the Canadian Terran, it is Massa. And his opponent in the bottom right, from Brazil and Black Knight Esports, it is Eric. You guys see what I see? You guys see that? You see that? Right there. This one. That's right. It's a spawning pool at 14. Oh, baby, Massa is in for some trouble here. Has not scouted yet. No SCV on the map to scout. The Reaper, of course, not quite done. The Barracks about halfway done. Spawning pool is finished up. Eric saving up a little bit of income here. It looks like he's got just enough. Overlord pops out at the perfect time. Spawning pool finishes. Queen out immediately. Ling speed on the way. Workers have been pulled from gas. Eric expecting to do some early damage and to hit hard early in this game. 2 more drones on the way. No Lings as of yet. First Reaper in production now from Massa. Massa still unsuspecting. Is going to send this SCV scout out, but the SCV scout going to be a little behind. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is happening. Natural's down. 2 more Zerglings on the way. It looks like Eric may be backing down just a little bit, trying to squeeze out Zergling speed early. But so far, no terrible early aggression yet. 6 Zerglings down. SCV Scout pops in, sees the natural expansion, but does not go to scout the timing of that spawning pool. Is in fact gonna miss. All these Zerglings now heading across the map. Overlord scouting out. Reaper waiting back home. Roasted Garlic in the chat says, hello. How's it going, buddy? Welcome to Alpha X Scrims number 9, the first Alpha X Scrim of 2020. Now, Eric's going to get in here. He'll see full saturation. He'll see a couple more Lings popping out, and he'll see him rallied straight across the map. How is he responding back home? He's adding on a reactor. He's adding on a factory. Looks like he wants to get those Hellions out, but now the Reaper getting chased there. A good grenade bounce, but the Reaper is going to... Oh my god, the Reaper gets away with 1 health. The SCV building the command center, however, is going to get slowed down. Command center on pause, just barely. For Massa. This is a good play so far by Eric. SCVs have been pulled. 1 Marine, 1 Reaper trying to defend against this. 8 Zerglings down to just 6 now. Zerglings chased away. Command center has been finished up. So the command center delay not quite as long as Eric would have liked. But Eric pushing in here. A nice grenade bounce again, separating out some of those Zerglings. A couple Zerglings into the main though. Going to be able to get surrounded on some of these SCVs. 5 SCVs down already. The Marine goes down as well. Reactor's Barracks is not even pumping out anything yet. Massa missing his production cycles just briefly. Landing a mule even. Reaper trying to clean this up. Zerglings have been cleaned up in the main, working down that reactor. The reactor probably will live here as the Reaper is alive back here. The Reaper, of course, with 7 kills. Very well done. Command Center injured on the low ground, but not dead. Zerglings pumping in. Let's take a look at what that's done to the counts of all these units. 5 SCVs, 1 Marine, for the cost of 14 Lings. Now, behind this, Eric expands to a 3rd location. No additional tech. Saturates up that natural, putting down the creep tumor, connecting the 2nd and 3rd bases. Income tab, slightly in favor of Eric until Massa's mules kick in. 3rd command center rather on the high ground already for Massa. 2 more barrels on the way. Oh man, we're gonna see mass bio out of Massa, and it's gonna be fantastic already. Oh no, not starting combat shields or stim just yet. We should hear in a minute. There it is, stim popping out just as I call him out on it. A couple Hellions popping across the map here to see if they can get some damage done in Eric's 3rd base. We see the Roach Warren down for Eric, and additional gas is being taken at his natural. The gas in his main just getting saturated. Hellions getting pushed away by these queens. They do have a nice pickoff on a creep tumor there. And the 2nd one's going to go down as well. Yes, Massive is going to target this very nice stuff. Going to target down those queens, and the splash damage from his Hellions are going to clean up that other one as well. Hellions waiting. Roach Horn about to finish. Starport on the way to support those medevacs. The reactor going down, of course, that is just for the double medevac production. We're seeing Massa go full bio, full out here. Double engineering bay happening as well in the natural expansion. A couple of drones getting roasted there. Just like at the 3rd base, or at the natural rather. A couple Hellions did pop in there past those queens, roasting 5 drones. Drone count a little bit low here for Eric, as he does have a large force of roaches in the make. 8 roaches on the way, a lot of finishing up here. Zerglings coming across the map now. Mickey, we have been live for about 5 minutes now. This is the very first match of the day. You haven't missed anything yet. This stream apparently doesn't have an uptime command, but I got you, brother. Bunker being built. 2nd bunker being built as well. Massa understanding that he's under some pressure here. He has not seen the roaches, but 5 Ravagers, 6 Ravagers on the way. Going to be very difficult for him to fight against. First medevac is coming out. 2nd medevac hopefully quickly behind this. Massa a little bit low on gas, just building the 2nd gas at his natural. Bunkers full of Marines. Scouting Zergling is going to catch those there. If we look at the vision for Eric, we're going to see that he's seen both of those bunkers full of Marines. 6 Ravagers now out. 7 Ravagers now out. 12 more Zerglings on the way, 4 more Ravagers on the make. Eric all in now. Cutting drone production. 3rd base not even saturated. Looks like his strategy for this match has changed up just a little bit. Holy crap, that is so many Ravagers. Big stim out from Massa. Going to try and get away from there, but that's a nice bait by Eric, forcing all those Marines down, lowering the energy of these medevacs. There's only 2 medevacs right now, 1 more on the way, but Massa a little gas-starved right now, not going to be able to produce at quite the level that he'd like. We see 1 siege tank coming out from Massa. That's going to try and help him defend here, but it's not out yet, and it looks like Eric wants to move here. Oh my god, the supply depot is down, the wall is open, the bunkers have been salvaged. The Zerglings getting roasted by a lot of these bio units here. The Marines are going to be able to push away that initial wave of Zerglings. So far, it's a lot of Ravagers. The SCVs have been pulled to do some meat in between the army here. We see corrosive biles going down, but Massa going to eat a lot of those biles. However, more Zerglings coming in. Eric forced to retreat for now. Hey, Mickey, let me know if that helps the sound any. I think that's going to spike me just a little bit, but let me know. All right. 5 more drones in production. It looks like Eric is going to quit with this exceptional aggression. He's going to keep these units on the middle of the map, of course, to try and control the map just a little bit. And a really nice creep highway being built here out of that natural expansion. 1 Zergling going to catch this 3rd base, but the 3rd base for Massa is on the way. Massa still slightly ahead in worker production. Take a look at the income tab here. We can see that Massa's had pretty good control over this game as the initial aggression from Eric not panning out. Control of the map still in favor of Eric. Good creep spread so far. Big Bioforce popping out here. 2 medevacs full of Marines. Gonna pick off Eric, take out that view in the center there. Should do a little bit of creep sweeping here. Nice catch on a couple of those tumors there. Should get 3 of them. All the active tumors are gonna go down. Eric trying to defend with a couple Ravagers. We see that Hive Tech is on, or Lair Tech rather, is on the way. Masa probably going to pick up with some of these Marines. Checking for the 4th. Won't see him. It's actually going to sweep some creep here. May just go straight up into the main base here. A lot of Roaches and Ravagers to defend. Big stims out of Masa here, trying to pick down as much as he can. And there it is. The pickup. And the escape. Sorry about the in-game sound being robotic. I have no idea what that is. I'm afraid I can't mess with it right now. May try in the interim. Masa doing a really good job here, staying on top. We see +2/+2 on the way, whereas Eric staying on that Roach Ravager tech, and 1/1 on the way, as well as Roach speed for Eric. Masa loading up with another small drop. May want to take this one into the main, but nice overload coverage here by Eric. Take a look at Eric's vision here on the map. He's got pretty good view on everything that's going on, but unfortunately he has been pushed back a little bit by Masa. He'd like to have his creep way out here, but Masa's done a really good job scanning, sweeping that creep. Looks like he's going to rotate down to the 3rd base, but Eric marking him quite well. More Roaches getting added on here. The army supply for Eric getting quite better. And here we see the drop that we talked about earlier coming into the main base. Has been spotted. A squad of 4 speed Roaches going to try and take these out. Masa thinks he's being cute, forced to pick up and load out. Rest of the army going back home for Masa, who's now established his 3rd base quite well, protecting with these nice supply depot walls. A very good SimCity for Masa. Huge Forge of Roach is going to pick off as much bio as they can here, but again, with nothing that shoots upward, Eric's going to have real trouble controlling these medevacs. 2-2 on the way for Eric. 2-2 just about to finish up here for Masa. Behind this, Masa adding on some siege tanks, finally mixing in some Marauders to deal with these Roaches. I don't know if it's going to be enough Marauders, though. We can see there's only 7 on the map so far, and this is a lot of Roaches. Eric not pushing his advantage just yet, but it could be really impressive if he did move into this 3rd base. There's a really great siege tank spread, though, from Masa. Masa able to defend this 3rd base very well. 3 more barracks in production now for Masa. 4th base floating over for Masa, gonna land. Both players moving around the map here. Eric's going to spot that little Bioforce on creep, and that will bring his entire army back from the middle of the map. Barracks finishing up here for Masa. 4th base established, 4th base saturated. All the workers pulled from the main already. A little double drop here. The medevac's barely getting out of there in time. A couple of corrosive bios landing on those Marauders. He's going to pin down the army of Masa so far. Look at this unit's loss tab. A very even game so far. Both players trading fairly efficiency. Here's a big engagement, though. Lots of Roaches and Ravagers pushing up onto the west flank. This is going to get pushed away by those concussive shell Marauders, though. A lot of Roaches and Ravagers pushing into siege tank fire. There's not that much bio left on the ground, though, as long as these siege tank shots are pretty good. I think that Masa may be able to clean this up, but Eric getting a really nice concave here, forcing all of Masa's units into the corner here. Masa unable to pick back, and Masa is going to be forced to lift up, go back home to try and defend this 3rd, but there are still so many Roaches and Ravagers left here. Lots of Roaches and Ravagers pushing into the 3rd base here, attacking that command center. Corrosive biles raining like fire. All the SCVs have been pulled. Vespene guys are exhausted. Another engagement here. Masa taking a slightly better fight here, forcing the issue, moving Eric back down. Eric forced to retreat here. Of course, off creep, this stimmed bio should be able to catch up to these Roaches and Ravagers, pecking down the army of Eric quite a bit. Eric thought about flanking in with some of these reinforcing Roaches, but it's not going to be quite enough here. Masa is going to be able to clean up that attack, reload his 3rd base, or reland his 3rd base rather, and should be able to re-engage. 3-3 on the way now for Masa. Vehicle weapons level 1 already done. Both players trying to push into the map and assert a little bit of dominance here, but I think Eric's going to have the unit advantage. Roach is getting wildly on top of all this bio. Oh my god, so much of Masa's supply is tied up in these medevacs. Not that much bio is left over, but it doesn't matter. Eric doesn't have the numbers. Masa is going to take game number 1. What a great match so far. Masa taking game number 1 in a pretty convincing fashion. Eric then is going to get map choice. in game number 2. All right, so as I said, loser is going to choose... Oh, sorry about that. Loser is going to choose the map. World of Sleepers is our choice. Interesting. All right. I'm checking my sound here to see if there's anything that might be strange. And that's disabled completely. All right, no problem. Well, let's just go for that and see what happens. All right, maybe a couple swaps there, a couple fixes, but everything else should be good as we get into map number 2 here with Masa and Eric. Masa, of course, taking game number 1 in convincing fashion. All right, we've got both players ready to go here. Map number 2, World of Sleepers, LE. Fantastic. So, a reminder, guys, this is a really good series that we've got. It's 4 different players from 4 different countries and 2 different regions popping into this game. We've got the little NA qualifier sort of going on here in the top of the bracket with Masa and Eric. And then after this, going to be Art and B in a little bit of a scuffle. So I am quite excited to see how the Europeans do against the North Americans. Let's get in to game number 2 here with Masa and Eric. In the bottom right-hand corner, in the blue, playing as Terran, hailing from Canada, and Team Alpha X, it is Masa. And his opponent, in the top right, in the red, hailing from Brazil, and Team Black Knight, it is Eric. Some cheers for Eric in the chat. Alpha cool too, lol. Thanks, VB stream. Yes, Mickey, white spots. I am in Minneapolis, Minnesota right now, in a rented office building, and it is freezing cold here. I've been waking up quite early to do some other qualifier events, like waking up at 2 or 3 o'clock a.m., and it is just terrifyingly cold. The temperature is like 0 degrees Fahrenheit, but the wind chill is like 20 below, which I'm used to because I grew up in Kansas, which did have pretty cold weather, but I've been away from it for so long, I am not used to this cold, and it is not agreeing with me at all. Snow and ice everywhere. I did hear a funny anecdote from my Uber driver a couple days ago. I left the office at midnight, I think, and couldn't get the bus back home. And my Uber driver was talking to me, and we were talking about what spots in town are the best. And my Uber driver said, if you're looking for a house in Minneapolis, Minnesota, here's how you know if it's a good house. You got to go a couple days after it snows. And if the streets are plowed by your house, that's how you know you live in a good part of town. If they don't bother plowing your street, don't buy a house there, because they're never going to take care of you. All right, early set of Zerglings out for Eric, of course, with that 12 pool or 14 pool again in this game. Looking to put on a bit of early aggression and possibly stop the building of that command center just like he did last game. Now, Masa seems to be ready for it this time. He's already got an early bunker going down. The bunker may finish here. Zerglings trying to get on top of the Marine, pushing the Marine around. It looks like the bunker is going to finish. The Marine might be able to hop in. Oh my god, the Marine and SCV all hop into the bunker. Very, very nice micro there from Masa, who's going to save every single one of those units. Hasn't lost anything yet. Just one SCV going down. This is really well done. Eric unable to slow down the building of that initial command center. A great defense there by our Canadian player, Masa. Still a lot of Zerglings here. But this time, big difference. Eric has continued drone production this time. Last time, he cut some drones, built some extra Zerglings, went straight up to that Roach Warren. This time, going straight back to drones, saturating his bases, moving upward in that economy, and really planning on getting some work done in the mid to late game. And we see a difference in Masa's play as well. Masa going for a 1-1-1 this time. Last game, of course, he built 2 or 3 barracks before he added on that starport. This time, he's going to play a much more traditional, a much more conventional game, swap over that factory, get some Hellions out, and then support with Medivacs or, hell, who knows, maybe even, nah, it'll be Medivacs. Surely he won't. Oh my god. Oh my god. As soon as I said, surely he won't, the answer is, of course, surely he will. Fusion Core going down for Masa. Early game battlecruiser harassment already. Tech Lab going down on the starport. We see a couple Hellions coming out. We might see one Medivac get cranked out here for a little Hellion drop before then. That is pretty common, but looks like Masa just saving up his gas. Fusion Core about halfway done. This is, of course, unspotted by Eric yet. He has no idea that that's on the way. Doesn't suspect a thing so far. No Spore Crawlers going down. In fact, building a Baneling nest. I don't know about you guys, but Banelings are not great against battlecruisers. Fusion Core finishes up. Third command center now on the way for Masa as the first Cattle Bruiser on its way out. Somebody get Nathanius in here. This is going to be his kind of game. Again, we see great creep spread from Eric, connecting all those bases, pushing out pretty early on. It is going to lead to some early detection of this first fighting force, including 5 Hellions and the Reaper, but Eric with 3 Queens should be able to push that away. Masa trying to take this fight, trying to draw these Queens out, trying to push a little bit hard with this mech, I think, to hope that Eric doesn't suspect that a battlecruiser is on the way. Eric still has not scouted the battlecruiser or the Fusion Core. A lot of Hellions out for Masa. Eric still with no Spore Crawlers, just a few Queens. Yamato Cannon, of course, has not yet started. That'd be a very interesting upgrade if Masa should choose to get it. But here we go. Eric pushing in, is going to see the Tech Lab, is going to see the Starport, might see the battlecruiser pop out here. In fact, he almost certainly will. Oh my god, he's not going to. The Overlord going to die just before the battlecruiser pops out. That, of course, does lead to 3 Spore Crawlers going down for the fear of Banshees, but I don't think he knows just what's up yet. Of course, again, if we take a look at Eric's vision, he has not yet seen that Fusion Core hidden at the first base. Battlecruiser finishes up. Battlecruiser immediately streaming across the top of the map. It did use its warp in to get closer to Masa's base a little bit. There is a Spore Crawler here, may push it away, but the battlecruiser harassment has officially begun. Shots going down onto the Queen. Queen getting under the auspices of that Spore Crawler. The Spore Crawler trying to push down. 2 drones have been roasted so far. Battlecruiser being very cautious here. Masa not wanting to waste any of that health. We see a second battlecruiser on the way. Spire immediately planted down by Eric as a response. Whoa. Vehicle weapons level 1, vehicle and ship plating on the way. Masa dropping the double armory to go full mech this game. We'll see if he follows these battlecruisers up with real mech play, and it looks like he actually is going to. 3 factories going down. A lot of idle SCVs, I will say, for Masa right now. 2 sitting behind there. 3 that cleared these out. The base to his third is wide open now, but the third base for Eric is saturated. +1 melee and +1 ranged attack on the way for Eric, and the Spire about halfway done. Take a look at the income tab. We can see spiking in favor of Eric as that third base was established. Battlecruiser from Masa popping back into the main base. Spore Crawler still alive. 4 Queens are there. That should be able to push it away. Yamato just getting started for Masa. 2 drones pushed, but this battlecruiser with 6 kills. Not quite as efficient as Masa would have liked. Second battlecruiser on the way. Where is that second battlecruiser? There it is, just popping out here. Masa doesn't want to use the teleport on that battlecruiser just yet. Actually using battlecruiser number 1 to put some pressure on this hatchery. The hatchery going to force a cancel, and he's going to get the drone. That's a really nice deny there by Masa. Going to stop Eric's income from spiraling out of control as he starts working on his own income. Again, a lot of idle SCVs. We go Masa, moving him into place, getting some siege tanks in place just to defend his territory. Banelings getting made. Eric with a little bit more diverse army. Look at the units tab here. Roaches, Queens, Banelings, a couple of Zerglings. Nothing terribly impressive from Eric, but he is sustaining, and that's really all a Zerg player needs to do early in the game. Ooh, that's a shame. Scan is going to miss that 1 active tumor. That's good news for Eric and bad news for Masa, as Eric is going to want to use that to control the time that he will eventually need to take this 5th base. Glial Reconstitution, Roach Speed on the way, and the first Corruptors now popping out for Eric to defend against this battlecruiser. We see a 3rd battlecruiser from Masa on the way. Battlecruiser is going to join up in the north corner. This battlecruiser is not yet hopped away. It's very low. There it is. Both battlecruisers teleporting away. Not sure where they're teleporting away to. Oh, just back home to get repaired up. Okay. And then go join his army. 3rd battlecruiser is out. Ship weapons level 2 on the way. Ship armor level 2 on the way as well. Masa going full force. Vehicle weapons, not ship weapons. Pardon me. Correction. A lot of Hellions out, but only a few siege tanks so far. The army of Massa, a little bit flimsy, not quite as broad as he would like right now. Not so many hit points in this army. A lot of queens, of course, for Eric, made for initial defense of the battle cruisers. That does mean a lot of creep spread in the mid and late game. Nice pushes. Eric staying very active. We see the infestation pit is down. No hive on the way just yet. Still just on lair tech. Infestation pit queued up with both of the infestor upgrades, neural parasite and pathogen glands. Battle cruisers on the hunt. A quick scan going to show one creep tumor. That's going to show Eric, of course, where those battle cruisers are. Possible that Massa is just trying to draw Eric out of position. Eric's sending some queens scrambling down to that southern location to try and make sure that those battle cruisers are pushed back. Even more corruptors on the way here for Eric. Eric with 5 out already. Total of 9 corruptors should be on the map quite soon. Corruptors rallied down south again to try and scout out these battle cruisers and put a quick end to them. However, Yamato is finished. All 3 of these battle cruisers with Yamato ready to go. Scouting Overseer. That's not a speed Overseer just yet. Gonna get into this third base and see exactly what Massa's up to. Massa, in the meantime, landing that 4th base, morphing in the planetary fortress. Hive now on the way, as well as Neural Parasite. We see no infestors out just yet. 3 on the way. Battle cruisers firing up their Yamato cannons, going to eat a lot of damage from these queens, warping away. All 3 battle cruisers are going to get away, badly injured. In fact, 11 health left on this battle cruiser. What a timely warp out there from Massa. The repair going down on the battle cruisers, and missile turrets getting added on, so that should the fight come to Massa's 4th base, those corruptors may be neutralized just a little bit, but even more of them are on the way. We see Liberator range, the next big upgrade coming out from Massa. We need to see more starports down from Massa if he wants to support this mech army with Liberators. As for now, he's just going to scan, sweep some creep with this Hellion force, and try and keep moving. Cyclones now getting added on as Massa adopts a bit of a battle mech style. No siege tanks with this forward-facing army. All the siege tanks just back home defending. No Zergling run-bys, no nothing just yet from Eric. A bit of a missed fungal growth there. Only getting 3 of the Hellions, but no infestors have gone down, I don't think. Oh, he did lose 1 infestor there in that battle. Little scuffle. Blue Flame Hellions now going to try and take down those Zerglings. Vehicle weapons level 3 on the way. Liberator production has begun in earnest now. Burrow, a very interesting upgrade from Eric, now on the way. Again, scans, picking off creep tumors, but very timely movement there by Eric. Is going to try and expand some of these creep tumors. They will get canceled, unfortunately. Good pickoffs there by Massa. Stopping the creep tumor from spreading just a little bit more. Here's our first Zergling run by, queued up to the 4th base. Luckily, completely walled off here. Those Zerglings queued to the 3rd base, but they're not going to get any work done. Queued up to the natural, not going to get any work done. Those siege tanks in position to defend against that 3rd base. We see Vipers being produced now for Eric, as well as more Liberators coming out for Massa. Look at the unit compositions here for these players. Liberator, Battle Cruiser, a lot of Cyclones, a lot of Hellions. Very traditional battle mech style. Adding on those Liberators, a couple siege tanks back home to defend. Meanwhile, a very broad spread from Eric. 11 Corruptors, 10 Ravagers, a couple Infestors, a handful of Roaches, and a Partridge in a pear tree as Eric rounds out this very diverse army. Cyclone lock-on, almost certainly going to force a cancel on that base. The drone, of course, for Eric will survive, though, and should replant that base right away. A bit of an oversight by Massa not to pick that up, but a good pickup of that Overseer in the top corner. Again, restricting Eric's view. Take a look at Eric's vision on this map. He can't see quite everything that's going on. He's spread out about halfway, but halfway is not quite far enough as of yet. Back to the production tab, we see +3 on the way. +2 flyer attacks coming out for Eric. Really committing to these Corruptors. Knows that he needs to neutralize those battle cruisers. Sees the Liberators, however. A really nice runaround here from Eric. Cutting off Massa, preventing him from retreating back. The Queens on the bottom and try and pick some things off as well. That's a really nice cleanup. Almost all the Hellions from Massa's army disintegrating. That means that the 52 Zerglings that are now in production from Eric are going to be even more efficient, even more effective as Massa struggles to keep up with it. Battle cruisers now rally to try and take care of this, but the battle cruisers so slow moving. Should be able to fire up. Oh my god, infestors moving forward. Neural Parasite on 2 of the battle cruisers. 1 battle cruiser almost certainly going to go down. There we go. Infestors have been taken out. Corrosive biles going down. Plague down. Goodness gracious. Down on one of the battle cruisers, but again, incredible timing there from Massa, getting that battle cruiser out with only 45 health. More infestors on the way. Second Spire on the way for Massa, looking to transition up to Broodlords as he does crank out those double flyer upgrades. A lot of Zerglings on the map. Again, we did see a lot of Hellions go down there for Eric, or for Masa, rather. Only one Hellbat, 8 Hellions on the map. That's not quite enough. Very easy to surround that much, especially with those Banelings that are going to do a really incredibly effective job up against the Hellions. They're, of course, very low hit point glass cannon type units. More Spore Crawlers going down. Eric being exceedingly cautious, defending his bases. Income tab, bouncing between these two players. Actually, no clear favorite in this game just yet. Although I will say the army for Eric looks pretty terrifying. Eric with a burrowed Zergling here, going to prevent Massa from landing that command center. That's going to force Massa up here, and will force a scan out of Massa as well to try and deal with this burrowed Zergling. Try to deal with this burrowed Zergling. To try to deal with it. No, he's fine. It's not going to happen. Don't worry about it. High sec auto tracking as well as Neo Steel frames on the way for Masa. So Neo Steel frame enthusiasts in the chat unite. We see Liberators sieging up some mineral lines here. Nicely done there. 6 kills, definitely worth it for the cost of 2 Liberators. Corruptors from Eric pulled all the way back to the main base to defend against this. Eric, of course, adding on a couple more Vipers. Should be able to have some really nice spellcasting units as his army gets larger. We see these Infestors with full energy right now as both players sort of sharking around the map, jostling for position to see who can get a better engagement here as the game goes on. Siege tanks from Masa still defending most of his bases here. Sensor tower and missile turrets going down at that 5th base for Masa. A reminder, Masa up 1 game right now, but this is a best of 5. So 2 is not going to be quite enough to win it. We see the battlecruisers moving around to try and assault this 12 o'clock base. Corruptors, of course, in place. Should be able to push them back. Very nicely played there by Masa. Going to warp away here. Back to get those repaired. Meanwhile, a big engagement in the middle of the map. Cyclones and Hellions. Oh my god, so many Hellions going down now. Just the Cyclones escaping. Banelings even rolling forward, but Eric reticent to attack off of creep there, does not want to move forward in a place and find himself in a place where he can't retreat. Double sensor tower down from Masa. Even more orbital commands right now. He's not yet taken any additional bases. I'd like to see him move out. I think he's got the siege tanks to be able to defend this. Meanwhile, he's switching over. Thor production has now begun for Masa, realizing he's going to need something with high firepower to destroy these flying units of Eric. More creep tumors getting picked off. Masa's done a really nice job of picking off those creep tumors, preventing excessive creep spread. Oh my god, Cyclone Lock-On's gonna get on a couple, couple nice fungals there from the Infestors are gonna go down. Only catching a couple Cyclones though. Both players getting close to maxed out. Masa building up a crap ton of bank there at the bottom. Almost 5k minerals so far. For Masa. Meanwhile, Eric slightly behind, but it looks like Eric wants to engage right now. I'm not sure what's prompting this attack. Thought he could get in there and maybe do some damage. Unfortunately, battlecruisers right behind it are going to be able to pick off a Viper. Corrosive Biles going down to the battlecruiser, still alive there. That was a really nice engagement from Masa. I'm not sure what Eric was thinking, engaging off of creeps, sending all of his Zerglings there to die. A lot of missile turrets down, so of course his Vipers could not follow. Cyclone Lock-Ons again, cutting down that Corruptor number. 5 more Corruptors being forced out of Eric. Eric's bank slightly smaller than Masa's right now. Masa just adding on a few more units here. I'd like to see him scrubbing in a bit more production. He's got plenty of factories and starports, though. Masa seems to be covering his bases very well. We see the Greater Spire on the way, finally, for Eric as he looks to get up to those capital ships. We see a little a battlecruiser run by here, down at the 3 o'clock base. That is going to take down that entire base from Eric. Corruptors are warped in, but as soon as the Corruptors show up, the battlecruisers are warped out. Again, a Zergling run by here into the base. Thor is here. Thor is arrived. Thor has arrived, is here, trying to take that down, but a Zergling surround on that Thor. Actually, the Cyclones might be a little bit late. Is the Thor going to get taken down? The Thor is going to get taken down. Cyclones and Hellions arriving just a little bit late. 2 siege tanks and a Thor going down, but that is okay as Masa remaxes on more Cyclones and Liberators. Wants to keep a very fast, very agile, very nimbly-bimbly army to be pushing around that map. He knows that if Eric grows for Broodlords, a very quick hit-and-run guerrilla-style Cyclone composition is going to be a way to keep Eric on an economic back foot as this game progresses. Eric, of course, still slightly behind in income. The income only getting more and more in favor of Masa in the past few minutes as some of these bases have been cleared out, as some of these drone numbers have been cut down. Only 80 drones to almost 90 here from Masa. A little scuffle in the middle going to lead to some casualties, but no big changes just yet. Another scan going down. Massa doing a good job clearing creep there. Circling run by. Now that the tanks have been cleared out, there's nothing here to stop this. After a huge mule drop as well, a lot of those mules with about half their energy left. Oh my god. Clearing out 13 SCVs. This is the kind of agile, nimble move that Eric needs to make if he wants to win this game. Picking off 13 SCVs. Also taking down a few of these missile turrets so that when the Broodlords eventually do come in later, he'll be able to engage more effectively should he choose to come in from that angle. Meanwhile, Eric moving into the bottom base, the 6 o'clock base, just as effectively. Infestors trying to get some fungals down, but some nice pulls by those Vipers are going to neutralize the Cyclones there. 17 SCVs in total have gone down. Looks like some drones going down as well. Liberator sieges up. Spore Crawler moves in. Liberator rotates around. Massa being a little bit lazy there is going to lose that Liberator. 1 Liberator for the cost of 4 drones. Not too bad at all. But again, battle cruisers have arrived. 3 battle cruisers able to take out this base in about 10 seconds. And that's simply too short of a time for all these Corruptors to move up north and respond. And of course, as soon as the Corruptors respond, what's going to happen? Yamato cannons and a warp out. Or in this case, just a warp out. But that is A-okay. The battle cruisers returning back to a safe home. And I imagine Massa will get back to repairing these up. Massa yet to lose a battle cruiser this game. Circling run by picking off a sensor tower. That's a good pick, if a little cheap. From Eric. Massa should strive to rebuild that very quickly. He needs coverage of this north side as he is trying to expand up to the 10 o'clock base. Man, this is a fantastic game so far. I can't believe that these players are putting on such a good show for us. Eric and Massa, of course, very, very well acquainted with each other. I'm sure they play each other in the North American server quite a bit. Wow, Massa engaging here into the bottom. Again, some corrosive biles going down. But here's a big move in from Massa. Hellions, Cyclones moving in, trying to pick off hatcheries now. It looks like Cyclones locking on. Not quite going to be enough. Infestors coming over. Some big fungal growths onto a lot of these units here. Second fungal does go down. The Cyclones are all fungal. Banelings now rolling in. Going to clean up a lot of these Cyclones. 4 Cyclones are remaining, but the base will go down. Massa going to lose that entire army, but will get a base for his troubles. This was a base with a lot of minerals left. This was a base that was in an easily defensible location. That's a tough base for Eric to lose right now. Eric has only trying to build up 2 more bases. A third one now on the way as he replants the base that he just lost. 21 drones going down as well. A decisive strike for Massa, who was losing economic control of that game after a phenomenal run by and some good Zergling control by Eric. Battle cruisers again looking to force a cancel here. Only 2 Corruptors have arrived. Forces the cancel. Gets the battle cruisers out of there. Massa playing this game with those battle cruisers very, very effectively. Did he lose a battle cruiser in there somewhere? Oh, he has lost 1 battle cruiser in the attack. Down to just 2 battle cruisers so far. That means the time that it takes to destroy a hatchery is going to be up to about 15 or 20 seconds. Roach run by getting pushed away here. Massa easily maxed here. His army looking very scary. Cutting down his SCVs just a little bit to make sure that he's got to, because he's got plenty of mules now. Lots of command centers. Look at that structure tab. 13 command centers for Massa. I think he's got mules for days. Hellions running in here, roasting about 9 drones. Quite a barbecue, dropping Eric down to just 41 drones. Eric has been losing the economic battle this game almost all game, with a couple little spikes there where he did some nice run-bys onto 2 of Massa's bases 2 and 3 minutes ago. But right now, Massa in control. Massa locking on. A couple of Corruptors are going to go down. Good scans to keep those Corruptors down. 2 more Corruptors getting lost. 12 more drones going down. Down to 44 drones. This drone count keeps rising. The drone death toll increasing as the natural disaster that is Massa keeps pushing onto Eric's bases. Again, we talked about this earlier in the game, but when you've got an opponent on a slightly slower tech, be it Broodlords or Roach Ravager or something that just takes a little bit longer to wade through, you're going to want something that's a little bit quicker to do hit and run strikes on all of these bases. Massa has been doing that in a phenomenal way so far. Massa taking a big engagement here. Lots of Liberators siege up. Nice corrosive biles to pick some of them down, but the army for Eric just unsustainable right now. Good fungal and a couple good neural parasites won't quite be enough. The liberation zones are established, and now we see the Liberators picking off the even more expensive infestors. All the infestors going down. Eric down to just 30 army supply. A couple Corruptors will be able to finish off some of these Liberators, but holy crap, I think that Massa is in an unassailable position this time. And whoa, what's up, OS Esports? Colterin, you are a bro. Thank you so much for joining us, man. We're here in the Alpha Scrims number 9, currently in the first series of the day. Eric versus Masa, best of 5. Masa's up 1 game, looking to take game 2 here. As you can see, he's wildly ahead, pushing this battle mech style against, I don't know, Roach, Ravager, and Fester from Eric. It's an unusual choice, but it's still been a really great game. Stick around. The next best of 5 is going to be Art versus B, and then we've got a best of 7 grand finals. Thank you all for joining us, and I'm so excited to see a couple more friendly faces in the chat. Initial battlecruisers from Masa still alive. These battlecruisers with 23 and 29 kills respectively. I'm not a math guy, but that, I think, is a metric crap ton of kills. Battlecruisers again rotating down. We see the Zergling run by has gotten cleaned up here with these Liberators and the Cyclones. Battlecruisers still putting pressure onto Eric's bases. Eric flailing to keep his head above water here. A nice fungal does go down, but at the cost of 1 infestor, the cost of 2 infestors. Eric making some rookie mistakes here, and those battlecruisers again just gonna warp out, adding to their kill counts. 30 now and 33. That is 63 kills across 2 battlecruisers. That is efficiency, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care what you're killing. Liberation zones established in the middle of the map. Liberators will go down here due to the corrosive vials, but there's still plenty of Liberators on the side of Masa, who's maxed out almost twice the total supply of his opponent, Eric. Eric trying to add some more roaches, trying to add some more infestors, but simply starving on minerals right now. Even the bases that he has up, unable to transfer any drones because there are too many Liberators. We see a big Hellion force pushing in, putting the pressure on the 3rd base of Eric here. Lots of infestors, lots of infestor energy here. Nice fungal growth going down. I think all of those Hellions are probably doomed, but again, Eric simply can't engage into this. Look at these liberation zones. Look at that coverage. Able to unsiege, push forward, leapfrog. Masa doing a really good job zoning out everything that Eric has to offer. Of course, World of Sleepers has these really nice choke points outside the 3rd base and the natural, making it very difficult to engage. Battlecruisers moving in to the hatchery. Any larva that is shows up is immediately obliterated by that Liberator. We see the battlecruisers taking down the base at the 3 o'clock position. This is the death knell for Eric. Eric has been on ICU for quite some time now, hooked up to his IV bag, desperately coughing up blood, begging for the nurse to come. And Masa has refused to finish it off. Corruptors picking off a couple Liberators here. Liberators do need to unsiege. Masa's got to be very cautious here with his Liberators. You can't lose too many of them, as the army for Eric is all right. But that's going to be it. Eric finally succumbing to the cold sting of defeat, and Masa is going to take a very convincing game number 2. Wow, what an incredible match that was. Game number 2 going to Masa. Masa now 1 game away from a clean sweep of his opponent, Eric. We're going to see the players getting into the next match now. As a reminder, if you are just joining us, this is not a veto system for our maps. This is a simple loser choice. So Eric will get to choose. Eric will get to choose which map he wants. Guys, I'm going to pop away for just 1 minute and turn off some lights in here to make sure that my lighting is working. It looks like our next map is going to be Simulacrum LE. So Eric has chosen 2 maps in a row now. Pardon me, 1 map in a row now. This is his second choice, Simulacrum. And we're going to wait for that lobby link to be posted. I'm going to adjust the lighting in here, and then we're going to be right back, baby, with game number 3, Eric and Masa. Masa currently up 2 games to 0. Again, if you want to take a quick look at our initial bracket here, this is not being updated in real time, sadly. But we do have Masa versus Eric. And Masa up 2-0. Liquipedia is quick, but they're not quite that quick. As I said, next game going to be B versus Art on the EU server. Should be a good one. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. And there we go. The map has been made, and we are live. Yes, Gasboy, best of 5s in the semifinals, and the final's going to be a best of 7. All right, gang. We'll be right back with this next match. Give me 1 moment, and we're about to hop in as the countdown starts. Don't go anywhere. All right, we are back. Oh, man, this is looking like it's going to be a good one. Gasboy 2K4, yes, best of 5s. Finals a best of 7. All right, Simulacrum LE, one of my favorite new maps. There is some cool stuff going on this map, and I'm so jazzed to see how these players respond. And we are in. Cynical, bless your heart, you are fan-freaking-tastic. A little late now, I've got the page on F5. Oh, it's still showing Masa up 1-0, Cynical. Masa's up 2-0 right now. Let's take a look at our players here in the bottom right-hand corner in the blue. Playing Terran from Team Alpha X, it is Masa. Represent Canada. Mooses and maple syrup and Justin Trudeau, right? That's what Canada's all about. And in the top left-hand corner, in the red, playing Zerg with a very early spawning pool again. From Black Knight Esports, it is Eric. Gasboy cheering for Masa for Terran and Canadian. An excellent choice. And Enki Alexander, what's up, man? Welcome. Eric, of course, representing the country of Brazil. So if you've got any Brazilians in the chat or any fans of Brazilian barbecue and or sexy, mostly naked people on beaches, which is mostly what I associate Brazil with. Also, Evita. No, that's Argentina. Hang on. Ouch. Sorry about that, Brazil. All right, standard builds out here for Masa again is just going to get that quick Reaper out of the barracks. Nothing special, nothing spectacular. Command center on the low ground. So if you are just joining us, in the first 2 games, we saw we saw Eric with an early pool trying to pick off the command center building and slow that down from Masa. So trying to pick off the SCV, building the command center, and slow that down. Both times he has been what's the word? Less than successful. So we'll see what's going on. See if he can get something done this game. It looks like he's not even going to go for it. Just a couple Zerglings out this game. Not even sending anything across the map. Just one Zergling to check. Command center has been slowed down, but not finished up just yet. Stream delay, yes. Two command centers being built for Masa, being a little bit greedy here. We've seen this from him previously in games as well. He got the 3rd command center on the high ground early last game as well, leading to an early income economic advantage. A cute little block there for the 3rd, going to slow Eric down just a little bit. At a very low cost, as Masa was able to get the cancel off of that engineering pay block. Behind this, as far as production goes, we see that Masa is slightly ahead. Gonna move that factory over. Gonna get one Hellion out, and hopefully a second Hellion out right behind it. Gasboy, I've just learned that there are skins, apparently. Yeah, man. Skins are amazing. Look at these simulant replicant skins for the drones. They're actually just Terran units that have been made to look like drones so that Terrans can practice killing them. It's awesome. Simulant? What are they called? I think they're simulant skins. Yeah, if you love StarCraft, man, one of the best ways to support the game. Pick up some of those sweet, sweet skins. Purchase the war chest. Watch my stream. Those are the ways that you can support StarCraft 2. Masa cranking one Viking out here. Going to get some shots off on this Overlord. Overlord going to get in. Should see everything that's going on. He'll probably see the open tech lab and recognize that a Cloaked Banshee may be on his way. As soon as that Overlord dies, I imagine we'll see the Viking pop out and the Starport swap over to that tech. Oh my god, it's not. What am I saying? I'm a dum-dum. Here it is. Boom! Another fusion core going down for Masa. Masa finding that battlecruisers very, very effective last game, going for it again. Now remember, Masa rushed up to battlecruiser at the beginning of last game, and he went gangbusters with those battlecruisers. 3 battlecruisers were alive until like the 15-minute mark of the game. A total of probably 90 kills across those battlecruisers. He's doing really, really well. So it looks like he wants to continue that strategy. This time, though, spore crawlers. Oh my god, no. What? 1 spore crawler at the very back of the base here for Eric, who maybe suspects cloaked banshee? Oh, this battlecruiser could do a lot of damage, my friends. Could do a lot of damage. 3 queens out front, as well as 1 queen at each hatchery. Larab almost all the way done. Double Evo chamber again for Eric, trying to reduce the choke point of his natural here just a little bit. And an early 4th base for Eric. That's a really good timing for Eric. Getting that 4th base out a little bit earlier than he did last game. Last game, we saw Eric fall behind economically. Massa was just simply too much for him, able to just put out too much economically. And even if he didn't play quite as efficiently, he certainly had more... certainly just had more stuff. Anybody who's ever watched the famous Day 9 How to Play StarCraft Brood War knows that no stuff is always beaten by a player who has stuff. Even if it's not the right counter, even if it's not the right, set of units or in the right position, if you have more stuff, you're much more likely to win a game of StarCraft. And that applies for Brood War and StarCraft 2. Meanwhile, speaking of stuff versus no stuff, not a lot of stuff here in the main base for Massa. On the main base of Eric, a good transfuse goes off to save that queen. The battlecruiser are going to get out with just 5 drone kills, but that really is not too bad at all, as Massa is able to escape without using his teleport. We'll be able to hop back in and do some more damage on that drone line as things continue. Meanwhile, double expansion from Eric 1, and looks like a macro hatch in the main. Knows that he needs to get more units out to defend against whatever Massa's bringing. Massa looks like he's switching it up this time. Last game went battlecruiser into battle mech style. With those Cyclones, with those Hellions, adding on Liberators after about 15 minutes of play. This time, he's adding on barracks, and more barracks. 1-1 already done. Armory getting down so we can get that +2 upgrade as well. His Bioforce going to be pretty terrifying. Massa does have Banelings and a lot of Zerglings to fight up against this. Baneling speed just about finished. So as long as the creep spread is nice and Eric takes good battles, he's going to be in good position. We're going to have to see how Massa's splitting is. We're going to have to see how his engagements are. We're going to have to see how all of these things are doing. Battlecruiser popping in again. He's going to teleport out. All right, I'll update the overlay in a minute here. Thank you so much, Gas Boy. A load up here from Massa. Looks like he may want to do a cheeky little drop here. Could do a little bit of a flanking attack as well. He's got some Hellions here that could push into this 4th base. And if he does a little drop, moves it around to the main base, trying to pull Eric around just a little bit. Now, Eric's Spire has finished, and the first Mutalisk is on its, or pardon me, the 9th Mutalisk is on its way. 8 Mutalisks already out, going to chase these Hellions away, and that's an interesting sign here for Massa. Now, Massa has again gone bio, so there's no Cyclones and Hellions to worry about. But a lot of Marines are here to respond. Oh, this is very cute. With Massa keeping a battalion of Marines up top, double stimming to try and pick off as many retreating Mutalisks as he can. Eric is going to lose 2 of his Mutalisks here. 1 more getting added on to the flock. Really interesting choice here. I don't know if you guys saw that. Massa had some units up here. Rather than rallying those Marines into the main, he counted on the Marines popping out of production to drive the Mutalisks away, and then moved another battalion up here to normally where his 3rd might otherwise be taken, or where his 4th will be eventually, to try and catch those Mutalisks on the retreat. A really nice flanking maneuver, costing Massa at least 1 more Mutalisk in his play. Hive Tech going down. 5th base getting established now for Eric. Look at the income tab this game. A much different story than it was last game. Last game, we saw Eric fighting for his life, trying to keep his head above water for most of the game as the income slowly, inevitably, went in favor of Massa. This time, the other way around. I think that Massa is going to be forced to make an attack here very soon with a superiorly upgraded army. Battlecruiser trying to get some shots off onto the Mutalisk. Mutalisk will be chased away again by a little battalion of Marines. Good splitting here from Masa, picking off some of the creep tumors. Gonna catch this Zergling force going down the other side of the map. Those Billies can say goodbye, but the Banelings are not ready for the other one. Siege tanks have sieged up here. Looks like a big engagement. No, but Eric's got to back off there. Doesn't want to take that engagement off of creep. Zerglings rocketing toward the 3rd base of Masa. Meanwhile, forces moving in to the 5th base of Masa. Zerglings, Banelings, and Mutalisks here to respond to it. Looks like a lot of big Mutalisks. Oh my god. Mutalisks gonna pick off the battle cruiser, and a lot of big Baneling shots are gonna go down. That is fantastic. Gas Boy, we're looking at this entire tourney, so the bottom half of the games are coming right after these. We're going to see all 3 sets in today's tournament. Crippling loss there for Masa, losing his battlecruiser, losing a lot of his bioforces. We can see that he's gone down 36 Marines so far. 1 medevac immediately getting shot down. I like the mix-in of the Viking from before, picking off some of these Overlords, focusing down some of the Mutalisks. That's really nice play there from Masa. Masa finally is going to force Eric to abandon this base. Zergling run by at the natural. The gate has been raised. Siege tank is now in position. Zerglings attacking that siege tank. These Marines better start doing what they can. Meanwhile, Zerglings forcing a clear out of the 4th base as the rest of the army cuts onto these unsieged siege tanks on the other side as well. Eric with a very nice cleanup there. Masa struggling a little bit under the pressure here. Down in army supply, down in income. And I think Eric is in a really, really good position this game. Eric re-expanding to the bottom left-hand corner of the map is going to take that 7 o'clock southwest base. Drilling Claws on the way. Mixing in Widow Mines is a really nice shot here. This is going to force Eric to test his metal as well. It's very important when you're playing against a Zerg player to make sure that you're taxing their APM. You're not allowing them just to A-move everywhere. You got to make sure they're very keeping an eye on the map. Widow Mines with Drilling Claws is a great way to do that. It forces the Zerg player to keep an eye on all the different pieces of their army and make sure they're not just losing 30, 40, 60 Zerglings trying to do a run-by to 2 or 3 good Widow Mine shots. Meanwhile, Nubatized Carapace and Ultralisks on the way for Eric. Eric going to stick with Lingbane Ultra this game. We need to see if Moss is ready to respond to that transition and if he can catch up by the power of mules alone. Income still in favor of Eric, leveling out slightly as another mule drop goes down for Masa. 5 Ultralisks popping out now. Zergling speed, or Zergling adrenal glands on the way to get those cracklings going down. A bit of a combo for the storm as the Ultralisks come out. Corruptors and Mutalisks sharking around, trying to avoid the auspices of this sensor tower. They are going to get down here, and actually, those Mutalisks going to catch the medevac. Both players deciding what they're going to do here, and yeah, Eric is going to give chase there. The medevac forced to drop its payload there. A lot of Marines are going to go down there. Corruptors there to finish off the medevac. A good little trade, though, I'd say, for Masa. Losing a medevac for about 3 Mutalisks, not too bad. This time, though, Masa is going to see what he's up against. Sees all 5 Ultralisks. Immediately should be starting to swap over to Marauder production. He is simply not prepared to fight Ultralisks. Look at his composition right now. What does he got? 1 Thor and a crap ton of Marines? Oh, man, I don't know. I don't think they're going to do much to those Ultralisks. He needs to start mixing in a couple more Marauders. Needs to get some more Thors out. Even Liberators would be a good choice, and there we go. He's starting to pump out a couple Liberators. We see 3 more Barracks on the way. He should be getting Tech Labs on all of those to increase his Marauder production to make sure he doesn't lose this game in the next 3 or 4 minutes. Double Nidus. Going down for Eric. Wants to expand his options. He knows with Ultralisks he's got a little bit more mobility than he would with Broodlords, so he's going to be able to use those Nidai to transition around and move his army from one place, pulling Masa from one half of the map to the other. Liberator siege up, I think, somewhere? Maybe that was just a little bio drop there in the 3rd base. 3 drones going down. Engagement here in the middle. A huge fungal growth going down on a lot of those bio units. The pickup is slow. Masa only saving 4 of those Billies from certain death. Liberator siege up again. Both Nidus are done now. Scan from Eric is going to reveal. There it is. It's out. Now, the problem is that there are 2 Night-Eye down right now for Eric, but look at his vision. He can't see anything. Just the very tippy top of the map here where he's got a burrowed Zergling. Widow Mine going to take out that moving Zergling as well. Overseer in place should help him to pull out these Widow Mines. If he wants to drop the Nidus, he's got to be more careful. He's moving an Overseer into position as well. But again, that's going to get caught by this medevac that's trying to do a Widow Mine drop. A bit of a détente as both of those players pass each other. And there we go. Overseer into the main. And this is prime time blues for a Nidus Worm. Meanwhile, attack up here on the 4th with those medevacs and Corruptors. 7 drones going down in the bottom corner of the map. Nice Widow Mine drop there from Masa. Double Nidus is going to go down here. drop. One Nidus erupts. Both Nidus erupt. One Night Eye goes down. Second Nidus popping out here. No Queens to transfuse, though. 3 lonely little Zerglings do get in for a full scout. They'll see the ghosts. They'll see the fusion core. Nothing surprising coming out here for Eric. Masa knows that he's in trouble. And Eric knows that Masa knows that Eric is going to get him. Did that make sense? That made sense, right? Totally made sense. More Corruptors. More Nidus going down. Very difficult to defend. This time Masa sees one of them, sees both of them. Zergling burrowed in the main. That's a very cute number. A very cute little play there from Eric. Looks like the Nidus is going to finish here in the main, and there's nothing here to defend it. Masa currently being pulled away by the Ultralisk at his 4th base. Some Fungals going down onto these medevacs. Ultralisk attacking the Planetary Fortress. No mass repair just yet. Meanwhile, Zerglings flooding into the main, attacking some of these production facilities going down. It looks like Eric making his final move here, wants to take down his fort. The Planetary Fortress is going to explode. The Ultralisk having done their job. Corruptors picking down all the medevacs. Zerglings running wild in the main base. A lot of production facilities going down. Fusion core as well, so no more battle cruisers there for Masa. Second Night is completely untouched right now. Ghosts coming out. Bio responding. Ooh, the Ghost Academy getting picked off. That's a big win there for Eric. Even if he gets pushed back here, that's still a huge win. Forcing a rebuild of that Ghost Academy and making sure that no Ghosts are around is a big win. No snipes on those Ultralisks. Ultralisks again preventing the landing of that command center, and the Corruptors gonna finish it down there. Masa getting choked out by the multi-pronged harass there of Eric. Eric looks to be in control of this game. 4 more Ultralisks on the way. Adding on some more Infestors. Supply capped already with a pretty big bank coming up. 44 more Zerglings coming in. Masa, for some reason, not responding to this Nidus Worm in his base. It doesn't matter. He's going to be pushed to his limit. GG is called, and Eric finally puts one on the board, bringing the score 2-1. What a good play. What a good play. Masa would have taken this if it were a best of 3, but we're better than that here today, folks. We are a best of 5. All right, what a great game so far. Guys, really quickly, as Nightbot is saying in the chat, there is a Matcherino today. If you want to help out and support some of these games and show the players that you are thankful for the games they're bringing you, the easiest way to do that is to go to the Matcherino. Simply type in AXCOM27. You'll add 50 cents to that Matcherino pool and help our players out. All of that money, again, goes directly to the players. It does not go to me. It does not go to our sponsors. It does not go to the re-election campaign for the current president of Bratislava. No, it doesn't go to any of those places, even though you may suspiciously suspect the president of Bratislava being a very powerful figure in the esports community. He's not. Every single dime, every bit of money that you contribute to that Matcherino page goes straight to our players. The prize pool today, $80 plus whatever the Matcherino is. Right now, it looks like that Matcherino already at $14.50. Not bad. Folks, let's see if we can exhaust every single one of those codes. I would love to be able to tell our players that they're getting a full payout today. That said, let's get in to game number 4. All right, gang. Let's do this. In the top right-hand corner, in the blue, playing Terran, hailing from Canada, and Team Alpha X, it is Masa. And his opponent, suspiciously not doing a 14 pool this game, from Black Knight and Brazil, it is Eric. Eric dropping the hatch first. That is the first time in 3 games that we have seen Eric go hatch first. He has been much more comfortable with a more aggressive opening so far. Every other game in this series, he's dropped his pool first. He's tried to get some Zerglings out. He's tried to cause a little bit of consternation on the other side of the map. So far, it looks like that's not going to be his case. Not going to be his plan this game. Saturating, not even saturating. 2 drones on 1 extractor. Natural expansion is down. expansion coming down here for Massa. SCV Scout gets in as well. Sees the exact timing of that natural, knows that he's not being Ling rushed or anything. Very relaxing, very relieving thing for Massa to learn this early in the game. 4 drones, or 4 Zerglings on the way out. Zergling speed immediately made, and the other drone pulled out of gas there. Interesting choice here from Eric. What is he up to? Another engineering bay block from Massa. And the Reaper going to help to keep this SCV alive. This engineering bay block is going to be quite long-lasting, forcing Eric probably to take his third up here at the 9 o'clock position. That's really not where a Zerg wants to take a third on the map Eternal Empire. I mean, look at this third base. Pretty wide open to the north, pretty wide open to the northwest, northeast, and pretty wide open to the southeast as well. That is really, really not what you want to do. Queen's coming all the way down here to try and fight this engineering bay block. And wow, yeah, Eric is just going to fight this NG bay block. He's not going to go in the wrong way. Anyway, it looks like a couple Zerglings getting into the main base here of Massa. So busy watching that sweet, sweet engineering bay block micro that I missed some Zerglings hopping in. They haven't caused a lot of damage just yet. In fact, they are going to get cleaned up with only, not even one SCV going down. But it does mean a full scout. So Eric will have seen that starport being built, knows that he's up against a 1-1-1. Granted, that doesn't tell you much. Going from a 1-1-1 does give you a lot of options as a Terran player, and the simple observation of that is not enough to really dictate strategy for the Zerg. Roach Warren coming down now for Eric. Gasboy getting an error for that Matcherino code. AXCOM 27. Interesting. I wasn't getting an error when I put mine in earlier. Maybe one of our admins can help you out with that. First Hellions are out for Massa. And, look at this Liberator coming out as well. That is a really nice play. Now, this Overlord positioned very well to scout the 3rd command center. And these Marines patrolling will catch it eventually. But he will not see anything else. Doesn't matter. He's seen what he needs to see. 3rd command center coming down again for Massa on the high ground. Eric's 3rd command center about to finish up here. 3 roaches now for Eric. Baling Nest coming down as well. A couple Zerglings streaking across the map now. Hellions just going to miss those Zerglings. Zerglings going up to check the 3rd. Nothing there. Natural well walled off here by Massa. The Zerglings shouldn't get much play here as they try to be more aggressive. SCV caught on the wrong side of that barrier there. Massa should get him in here. Looks like a couple drone kills going down. The Liberator positioning itself outside the natural. Queen forced to waddle all the way around. Massa should... nice. Another good pick off there by Massa. Should be able to pick that up. Meanwhile, Hellions going into the 3rd and roasting all the drones there, forcing a mass pullout. All 4 Hellions going to escape with their lives here. There we go. 1 Hellion finally going down. 3 Hellions left, trying to roast as many drones as they can. Meanwhile, Liberator has escaped. 10 total drone kills so far, and look at this double armory. Massa going mech again. 3 factories down. I probably could have told you that earlier, but I just got excited about it now. Roach speed on the way. More drones getting roasted. Liberator doing really, really nice work. 6 kills on that single Liberator so far. Not bad at all. As we see Roach speed coming out from Eric. Tanks now in production. So this is really interesting. Massa tends to, at least what he did last time when he went mech, is that he built a couple tanks early on to set up defensive positions to support his 3 or 4 bases, and then just went battle mech from that. Kept his tanks back home, and then went out with Liberators, Cyclones, and Hellions, and sort of destroyed everything. Overseer going to pop in from Massa, or from Eric rather, to see what Massa's up to. Double Evo chamber down. Spire on the way for Eric. More production getting added on for Masa here. Another Tech Lab coming down. Interesting. Wants a lot of Cyclone production. Mickey in the chat, thank you so much for providing the correct link. Apologies, we should have our command fixed hopefully soon. Infestation Pit is going down for Eric. We'll see if that's actually for tech or if he just wants to get up to lair so we can get those cracklings out much more quickly. Meanwhile, Masa, Expeditionary Force of Hellions, is going to try and roast a roach there, but a nice transfuse by one of those queens is going to keep that roach alive, forcing Masa back. Now, Masa will see the expansion from Eric, so he knows that he's in a bit of trouble economically, but what he hasn't seen yet, and what's really crucial, oh my god, what a money scan from Masa. Just as I was about to say, he hasn't seen the Spire, he hasn't seen the Infestation Pit. He scans both of them in the main. Well done. That's going to mean Masa knows that he's up against a lot of Mutalisks quite quickly. 2 Thors already on the way out, more Cyclones getting scrubbed in. Now there's not a lot on the field right now for Eric, or for Masa, that shoots up. And when I say not a lot in the field that shoots up, I mean there's 1 Marine and a couple of missile turrets. Already, Mutalisk steaming across the map here. Gonna catch those Hellions out. Hellions forced to retreat here. Siege Tank should unsiege as well and get the heck out of there. Get to the safety of one of those missile turrets. Oh my god. Mutalisk's gonna have their run of the place. Finally, a Thor is out. A couple good Thor shots and a missile turret will chase those away. Only 2 SCVs getting putting down, but so far, those Mutalisks really forcing Masa to make a quick adjustment to his play. We see 3 more Thors on the way. Blue Flame for those Hellions. Masa responding fairly well, but still stuck on 3 bases. A couple supply depots getting pushed down now by those medevacs. Gonna soft supply cap Masa as he needs to make a couple more supply depots. Medevacs coming out now to support the Hellbat army down below. May also be used for some micro on some of those Thors. Mutalisks running into this army. Cyclone locking on, but getting picked down. 1 Thor getting some big shots off into this army, though. The Mutalisks sticking around for maybe a little longer than they otherwise should. Picking off 1 tank, though. Was it worth it? I don't know. Good scan here from Masa. Going to show everything he's up against. Roach is pushing forward onto the Hellions. Hellbats getting morphed in, and there we go. Hellbats combined with these Thors and the siege tank from behind should be able to push this Roach force back. Meanwhile, Mutalisk's back home, stopping the building of a command center. 1 Thor is there. Mutalisk going to try and magic box that Thor. I don't think there's enough Mutalisks to do it, though. And here we go. Spinecrawlers finishing up as Masa pushes in to the 4th base of Eric. Eric does have a 5th base going below. A couple Banelings getting down on those... a couple Banelings getting down onto those... Hellbats. The Hellbats are all going to say goodbye. Roaches getting on top of the Thors now. No Thor micro from Masa just yet. He needs to micro those Thors back. Some good pickups, forcing a retargeting of Eric with those Thors, but the 3 Thors still alive here. 1 siege tank as well. Beautiful micro here from Masa, saving as many Thors as he possibly can. 2 Thors very badly damaged. 1 tank joins the fray too late. Masa going to lose the bulk of his army there, but Eric not unscathed either. Loses 6 drones, loses a lot of his army units. We can look at the compositions from both players now, down to just mostly queens and roaches, up against a couple of Thors, and more Hellions getting pumped out every day now. I love this. Look at this. A bunch of SCV boys on auto repair, following this mech army across the map. Hellbats morphing in. Good spread there by the Hellbats. A couple of corrosive biles are going to land, but those Thors just have so much energy. The march of Masa begins. 2 SCVs going down. Mutalisks or Zerg being run by there, stopping some reinforcements. That's really cute there from Eric. But Masa putting a lot of pressure here. Great corrosive biles there. Masa not responding in time with the medevac pickups. He is going to lose one of those Thors. Needs to heal up. He's got a couple of SCVs around as well. Oh man, good again. Good corrosive biles there, going down onto the siege tank. The siege tank's of course unable to be picked up while they're sieged up. The siege tank very low now, but the Thor's still alive barely, as Eric is doing all he can to push back these Thors. 1 Thor is going to go down here. 2 Thors in the air for a long time here. Masa's had those very up in the medevacs for quite some time. Thor's dangerously low. Just a sneeze away from exploding, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, Masa needs to pick up and get out of here. Masa really struggling to put the pressure that he would like onto this base. Dropping the Thors onto the high ground, but that just means he's going to get pincered by all of these roaches. Lots of roaches now coming out for Eric. Eric adding on some corruptors to try and defend against those medevac shots, or those medevac micro. Behind this, though, look at this. Masa putting pressure onto the 4th base of Eric while expanding to the 4th base of his own. Looks very, very nice so far. Macro hatch going down for Eric. Thor's getting pushed back. Siege tanks getting caught out. These roaches doing a wonderful job cleaning up a lot of the more expensive units there of Masa. Masa has nothing set up defending his 4th base yet. Some drone kills going down. A nice little, oh my god, a nice little Hellion run by here. 8, 9, forcing a burrow. That's really cute. But again, Hellions can attack from that high ground on Eternal Empire onto that fourth base. Hellions doing a huge job here. 11 drones getting killed. Normalizing the drone and the worker count rather. Oh my god, and they're still going. Gonna head on into the natural, or the 3rd rather. Oh my god. More drones getting roasted. Eric simply not responding in time. 17, 19, 20, 21, 23 drones going down. A finishing blow from Masa. Very, very well done. Infestors now on the way from Eric. So much mech. Look at this. Hellions and siege tanks all coming down. Couple corruptors in the air here, but the medevac production seems to have died off just a little bit. 2 medevacs from the beginning of the game still in production, or pardon me, still on the field here, healing up any hellbats that may morph in. Another Blue Flame Hellion run by. It's Slayer's Boxer up in this bitch. Look at all of these Blue Flame Hellions. 8 being killed. Morphing into the Hellbats to try and get some shots off onto the Queens. Transfuses should save the Queens. The Hellbats will go down eventually, but well played there by Masa. And another one already set up to go in to the bottom here. Now Spine Crawlers have been set up to try and defend against some of these Hellbat run-bys. But this is really, really effective here, forcing Eric to spend a lot of money and a lot of larva key on drones that he didn't want to build. Again, Blue Flame Hellion run-by, 7 drones. 8 drones. The drone kills so far, 59 drones have been killed this game so far. Make it another 10 so we can all go. Nice. Masa. Well, a few more isn't going to hurt, and here's going to be the move out from Eric. Oh, Viper's caught out here by Eric. Masa moving out. Siege tanks unsieged so far. No Hellbats in production, or no Hellbats made up just yet. Some nice blinding clouds go down to the Thors, able to move out of them very quickly here. The Viper's out of energy. Corrosive Biles landing on some of the siege tanks. Actually, some poor army control here from Masa, but I don't think it's going to matter. Masa now at 85 army supply. All the siege tanks finally sieging up, killing everything in their path. And now the slow burn leapfrog from Masa can begin. Corruptors here to push off, picking back these medevacs. Infestors from behind going to try and fungal some of these, fungling a couple of the tanks. One of the Thors as well. We'll see if that helps out in the long run. Tanks now unsieged, fighting against Ravagers. Ravagers pushing these tanks back. Those infestors with a neural parasite doing a really, really nice job. But again, a scan gonna pick off one of those infestors. The last Thor, desperate to retreat. Medevac pickup will make it out of there alive. Moves back onto the high ground. Thor can begin attacking the Corruptors that come through. Corruptors pushing a little too far forward. Vikings, Thors, and missile turrets will waste one of those Corruptors. The other 3 dangerously low. Thor's continuing in production here, as well as more Hellbats for Masa. Eric moving up to +3/+3 for his Zerglings and his Roaches. I can't believe chat is so quiet right now with such a good game going on. Ouch. Again, Corruptors caught out here. The Corruptors are going to fall to these Vikings. Some nice Corrosive Biles are going to... Oh, ouch. Accidentally hitting one of those Vikings. I think some poor control there from Masa. One of the SCVs with this force is going down. Ooh, here's an engagement I'm not sure Masa wants to take. Too many Roaches, too many Ravagers is going to lose 1 siege tank for the cost of absolutely nothing. Yeah, he needs to get some more upgrades out here. 3-3 now on the way we see for Masa. A couple more SCVs are going down. 4th base is established here. 5th base trying to get rebuilt for Eric, but the siege tanks have sieged up now. These Ravagers eating a lot of shots. Corrosive Biles raining down. A couple more siege tanks are going to go. Siege tank production has slowed down. Some nice infested neural parasites rather from those infestors. Thors turning on their comrades, blowing up the siege tanks. Very, very well done there for Eric, using that neural parasite to his advantage. And some beautiful neurals going down. Vikings, some good kiting there from the Corruptors. The Corruptor number should be just enough where the Vikings should be taken down, though, as of course Hellbats and siege tanks not going to be able to work. Again, we see Masa pushing in with Hellions here, but Ravagers will push it away. 3 more Corruptors on the way. Corrosive Bile should take out these last 2 siege tanks. Masa really unable to break this base for the 3rd time. Pushing forward. 12 more Roaches on the way. More Vikings, more Hellions, more siege tanks. +3/+3. Smart servos on the way for that quick Hellbat transition. All right, Viper's moving forward. A nice pull on a siege tank. That siege tank is going to go down. It's also going to draw a lot of the fire, though, from those Ravagers that could have been moving forward to engage into this Thor. The Thor landing a lot of shots here on the Corruptors. The Corrosive Bile's not going to go down on that Thor. The Thor barely still alive. I'd love to see an SCV out here repairing up. Some more drones going down, but a big run by here at the 5th base of Masa. Eric is going to be able to pick off one of the engineering base, so he'll need to rebuild his engineering bay if he wants any more missile turrets, but the SCV's immediately getting pulled. Hellions should catch this. Yeah, Hellions are going to catch this Zergling force out roasting all of those. And now we see a long-distance mining going down for Masa, who needs to get another base up and needs to get one up fast. Eric winning the income game, I think, a little bit this game. It's been in favor of Masa, but now Eric taking control. Yeah, there it is. Command center moving over up to the 12 o'clock base. Scan to make sure that there's no pesky Zergling there to prevent him from taking that base. Meanwhile, the army from Masa rotating around down south to continue putting pressure in the exact same spot that Masa has put pressure this entire game. Masa has been pushing on this base for the last 5 minutes, but Eric has refused to break. Masa needs to break this base again if he wants to have a shot. We can see the army supply wildly in favor of Eric right now, and a lot of low Vipers in the air here. Vipers should be able to pull some of these siege tanks. The siege tank spread very good. A parasitic bomb going down, but a good response there from Masa. Eric is going to be pushed backwards just a little bit. Some Zerglings joining the fray, but there are plenty of Hellbats here. Smart servos, of course, allowing them to get in and get out of battle quite quickly. Again, Corrosive Biles taking down one more tank. 8 Corruptors now on the way as we see the battle for air dominance is beginning. Meanwhile, Roach run by at the 12 o'clock. Masa forced to immediately evacuate, and that's going to really hurt his chances of coming back in this game. Masa really needed to establish that base so that he could come back in the income, and he's not going to be able to come back in the income without that base. Roach is now cutting off supplies, cutting off reinforcements, killing SCVs, killing Hellbats. This is not looking good for Masa. Masa really struggling this game, forced to recall his entire army back to this 4th base. The Planetary Fortress is safe for now. He has cleaned up the Roach aggression here between his natural and his 3rd. Has re-landed that command center at the 12 o'clock. But, ooh, baby, I think Eric is doing really well just in the last few minutes of this game. After consistently and conveniently, convincingly, and consistently defending this base location here at the 6 o'clock. Neither player with any tech switches. We do see a Greater Spire on the way for Eric. We may see Broodlord tech in the future. Another Roach run by into this command center, just starting to upgrade to a Planetary Fortress. Roaches should be able to pick that off. It looks like he's just going to go for those pesky SCVs, though. Oh no, he's going to focus fire down this Planetary Fortress. It's almost certainly going to cause a cancel here out of Masa, who's moved his entire army up to this 12 o'clock base to try and defend against it. That's going to leave him naked and afraid down here at the 4th base, and that's going to be the opening that Eric needs. The Planetary will finish. Mass repair goes down, but the army is out of position. Huge blinding clouds on all of the missile turrets. The missile turrets completely feckless now. Some nice harpoons from those Vipers. The Vipers really worth their weight in gold this game. Planetary Fortress going to get mass repaired, but huge Corrosive Biles picking off so many SCVs. The Planetary Fortress is going to fall. Masa now fighting from a distinct back foot. Parasitic bombs, but a good pull there from Masa. Eric pushing forward with just the Roaches. Eric overcommitting just a little bit here. Ravagers are going to get pushed back, but they are going to stay alive there as he does decouple. He lost a lot of Vipers that game, though. The Vikings coming in very handy, fighting against the Vipers, but I don't think Eric gives a damn. He is going to re-max on, that's right, folks, Roaches. Lots and lots of Roaches. Roach run by at the north. 27 SCVs have gone down. The worker count roughly even now. Masa so short on units, he's being forced to chase down these Roaches with SCVs. SCVs getting kills. I love it. The Roaches are going to burrow. The SCVs forced to retreat. It's not looking good here for our Canadian Terran boy Masa. Eric, the Brazilian, looking to go toe-to-toe. Bring the series 2-2. The SCV death toll continues to rise. Remember earlier in this game when I was very impressed with the drone kill count from Masa? Eric has now turned the tables. The SCV count is now 58 dead SCVs. Another little Hellion run by here, going to roast a couple drones. This is a cute little move. This is exactly what Masa needs to do if he wants to come back in this game. You've got to cripple your opponent economically, and right now Masa has failed to do that on so many counts, notably the sustained 5 or 6 minute push as he went back and forth trying to take down this base that Eric was able to hold. Eric now wildly ahead in supply, 133 army supply to just 75. Masa has 1 siege tank here to protect this Planetary Fortress. I don't think it's going to be enough, baby. Forced to evacuate. The Planetary Fortress going to fall immediately. Roach is picking down that tank. Masa on like what, 1.5 mining bases maybe. SCV's going down. Zergling run by here. Vikings scouting out the roaches, but the Vikings can't do much more than say, oh, yep, those are roaches. Yep, we're real screwed. Yep. We can see Eric rotating down. 7 more Corruptors on the way. Remember that Greater Spire is out. No Broodlords just yet, but they might be on the way shortly if Eric really, really wants to take this game. We see the base in the bottom right-hand corner, the southeast corner, just finishing up for Black Knight's Eric as he pushes forward into the Planetary Fortress at 3 o'clock. Planetary very well defended right now. Masa trying to take position here at that orbital command at 12 o'clock again. Simply outgunned, outmatched by everything Eric's had to do. Masa will find that bottom corner base, but he won't see any drones there, so the Hellions are going to retreat. Meanwhile, Eric mustering all his forces to the northwest corner of the map. He is going to start this assault on what used to be a planetary, but is in fact now just an orbital command. We should see some blinding clouds going down on those tanks. Roaches engaging. Zerglings taking out the siege tanks. Again, the SCVs pulled, and again, almost certainly, Masa forced to lift off and sacrifice this 12 o'clock base. Masa has not been able to get this base up. He simply doesn't have the army supply to support it. Vikings flying over, trying to scout out what they can scout. There we go. Viking picking up, trying to pick up some of these, single Viking engaging there. Corruptors, however, going to engage into the Vikings now, and now it's Eric's turn to laugh. Parasitic Bomb goes down on a lot of those Vikings. Oh no, Masa not paying attention. He's going to lose those Vikings. Meanwhile, Zergling run by with some roaches, cutting off reinforcements. Might even be able to pick up a Thor if he's lucky. Oh no, he's going to get pushed back, but that is okay. Reinforcements have been disrupted, but I will say, Masa's army looking a lot scarier than it was just a few moments ago. That is a lot of Thors. 10 Thors. That is a scary number of Thors, especially if you're on Roach Ravager. Another Spire going down. Air upgrades still incoming for Eric. Corruptors trying to push away this orbital command. Masa still with no luck taking this 12 o'clock base. Big Zerg army down south for Eric, scouting out what it can scout. Of course, this base for Masa still very well defended, but almost mined out. Take a look at the bases remaining on the map. Mined out. Practically mined out. Unable to be supported. Here we go. Big push into the planetary. We see the Vipers going down, but Roaches and Ravagers on top of this expansion. The planetary fortress not getting mass repaired. Masa not quite quick enough as he's trying to take out the expansions on Eric's side. Are we going to see a full-out base trade right now? This base has finally been broken here by Eric, who's now cleaning up a couple more units with these Roach Ravagers, but the Thors are here. Choo-choo! The Thor train has arrived at the station, and do you know what's in its cargo bay, baby? Pain, and lots of it. The other base is going to go down, and that's going to force Masa to get out. More Corruptors trying to take down this orbital command on the low ground. Mass repair is going to go down. I don't think it's going to be enough to save it, though. The orbital command is going to fall, but the Thors are right behind it. These Corruptors have nowhere to go but forward. He's going to get sandwiched, I think, between some of these Thors. Zergling run by into the natural. Nice skill check there by Masa to get the supply depot up. Vikings taking out some of the Corruptors. +2 air carapace on the way, as well as +1 flyer attacks for Eric. But that was a really good play by Masa, taking down 2 of the bases, really pushing back that creep spread. Is there a chance for Masa to come back after such a deficit this game? Setting up some siege tanks, getting ready. All the Thors are here. High ground held by Eric, but these Roaches have got to get back here. He needs a scan. Burrowed Infestors, tons of Neurals going down. Corrupted Biles raining down on in the Neural parasited Thors. Thors fighting Thor. Brother fighting brother. It's Captain America Civil War up in here, but it looks like oh my god, more Infestors arrive. More Neural parasites. Every single Thor has been Neural parasited. Vikings trying to land to kill these Infestors. A couple Infestors still do remain, though. One more Infestor. The Thors are still alive, but the army from Masa is crippled. 26 Roaches on the way. Masa simply unable to come back with a response to this. A burrowed Roach preventing the building of this command center in the correct spot, and it's going to pop up and feast on SCVs its whole day. Masa is going to try and take that out, but simply nothing left here for our Terran player, and there's the GG. Black Knights Eric is going to bring the series equal 2-2. Wow. Wow. Masa started winning 2 games, then 2 games lost. The series now even at 2-2. All right. Guys. Guys, I need to take a quick break, step away from the stream for just a moment before we bring you Game 5 in this series. I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock here, and I'll be right back with game number 5. Going to be right back with game number 5 very, very shortly. Don't go anywhere. Look at that. Perfect timing, ladies and gentlemen. I am back. Thank you so much for sticking around. I apologize for the delay. Let's move on. We are now, in case you have not been paying attention, we are now on game number 5 in this best of 5 between Eric and Masa. They are both playing for the long haul. All right. Let's get straight into it. Yeah, baby. In the top. No, we're in the bottom. What am I saying? In the bottom. Left-hand corner in the blue. From Canada. And Alpha X Esports, it is Masa. And in the top. Right-hand corner in the red, playing for Black Knight Esports and the country of Brazil, it is Black Knight's Eric. Now, folks, if you're just joining us, pardon me, if you're just joining us, you have missed out on some incredible stuff so far. Masa winning the first 2 games convincingly. And when I say convincingly, I am not being hyperbolic. He has won the first 2 games pretty easily. Last 2 games went to the long game. And both times, he was simply overrun by Eric. Eric able to defend superbly against everything that Masa could throw at him. Most notably, last game, Masa bringing in siege tanks, bringing in Thors, trying to break this 4th base position that Masa had, or that Eric had, rather. Eric able to defend with no problems. This song is so good. The StarCraft 2 soundtrack is so good, you guys. Oh, absolutely incredible. Expansion on the high ground here. Masa being a little bit more careful this game. Doesn't want that command center to get slowed down by some of these aggressive Zerglings as it has in the past. And speaking of aggressive Zerglings, 8 more Zerglings on the way for Eric. Only 1 drone out as well. No Baneling Nest yet, but if he was going to Baneling bust, now would be the ultimate time. Oh my god, okay. Oh man, the supply depot goes up just in time. Masa saves himself from the embarrassment of losing a game just by not having a supply depot up. The Zerglings forced to retreat very quickly here. Trying to pick off an SCV, which they definitely will. Those Zerglings have speed, or pardon me, picking off that Reaper. That's not an SCV. The Zerglings have speed, so they almost certainly will pick off that Reaper. A very nice catch there for Eric. Now, Eric's going back to drone production, so this is not an all-in, but there are still a lot of Zerglings on the way, or on the field right now. Man, can you imagine a Dropper Lord play right now? That'd be so cute. Just rush up to Lair and go for it. Behind this, for our Terran player, 1-1-1, pretty standard, especially if you get the orbital command on the high ground. You just don't quite have the income to do anything too crazy this early in the game. We're going to see more Hellions getting cranked out, and we'll have to see, importantly, what add-on this barracks decides to go for. Okay, nothing just yet. Is just going to get a Marine out. Scouting from Eric. Still in good shape. Nice. Zergling's going to pop out and try and catch this Hellion. The Hellion forced out. This Zergling still hold position for Eric. Keeping this orbital command from landing. This is a really, really nice play. 1 Viking out to try and clear the Overlord. Masa landing that natural command center and sending an SCV down to block off the ramp here. Gonna allow him to secure that position. And again, 3 games now. We have seen Masa go for the fusion core, go for those early game battle cruisers, and 2 games, it's worked out really well for him. We are gonna have to see if those battle cruisers can really make the difference here in game number 5, now that Eric has seen this tech several times. Baneling Nest on the way. Again, Baneling's not great against battle cruisers. Masa searching the skies for any overlords that may have been foolish enough to stumble into his traps. He will find none. He will, however, scout that 3rd base that's already down here for Eric. First battlecruiser on the way. Keep your eyes on that production tab, guys. Lair Tech on the way. 1 Spore going down. We have seen Eric with a very, very sparse air defense so far now. Reminder, Eric has not spotted any of this yet. Doesn't know about the fusion core. Doesn't know about the impending battle cruisers. He is getting 1 Spore down just for safety, usually against something like a Banshee that he might not have scouted. But last time this happened, the battle cruiser started out with something like 6 kills immediately, which was just so worth it. And without a Spore Crawler at that natural expansion, he does have a couple Queens there to defend. But this is going to be very, very difficult for Eric. Should this battlecruiser just warp in right on top of the mineral line or something, that Queen could be in a lot of trouble. But the first battlecruiser is down. Hellion's ready to do a little run by here at the 3rd base. There's only 3 Queens to defend against it. Battlecruiser warping into the top here. Overlord going to get picked off. This is so smart. Masa escorting that battlecruiser. The Overlord is going to just barely not see it, but now he knows. Yeah, now he knows. This is going to force him up to defend against this. 1 Queen is not going to be enough to transfuse itself. Spore Crawler uproots, and this should give Masa exactly what he needs to bring these Hellions into the 3rd base. Keep an eye on those Hellions. They should move in any minute now. Drawing the Queens away. Battlecruiser forcing the Queens further and further out. Some good transfuses from Eric, but that is 7 drone kills already. The Battlecruiser at 9. And that should give Masa, come on, man. You can't miss an opportunity like that. Should have gotten down there and roasted so much bio. Oh, my God. Anyway, it's all right. Overseer going to get in. Going to see what he's up against. Sees the factories. Knows that he's up against a mech Masa yet again. Now, the last game Masa opened with battlecruisers. He went straight to bio after this. Just threw down a whole bunch of barracks and got it done. Meanwhile, second harass going down at the 4th base. Zerglings will get around these Hellions and actually clean up fairly well. That's a really nice defense there by Eric that time. He has let the Hellions get the better of him sometimes, but that time not able to... Masa not able to get everything done. Masa doing a good job defending his 3rd base as well. Those Zerglings going wee all the way back home. We see another battlecruiser in production. 2 battlecruisers already out. Repair should go down on this battlecruiser. 3 battlecruisers seems to be the magic number for Masa. He's kept 3 battlecruisers alive for a long time last game. The last game he had them, rather. Overseer from Eric popping in again. Of course, there's nothing here to really fight against it. We'll see the 2 armory... Oh, hasn't seen the 2 armories yet, but should know that double upgrades are pretty standard here for mech players. You've got to have it, especially with as flimsy as those mech units are. Hellions, Hellbats, Cyclones die pretty quickly, so it's important to get their upgrades going as quickly as possible. Little Hellion run by going down to the 4th base. Will get spotted by this creep tumor. 2 queens here to try and push it away. Big scan going down. Looks like Hellion's going to be contentious to pick up creep tumors. Queen's forced to retreat here. Zerg being run by en route. Battlecruisers again. Going up to the north side of the base. Heading straight into the main where there's only 1 Spore Crawler, only 1 Queen. Yamato Cannon is finished. Look at how shiny these battlecruisers look. They've got that pulsing yellow light down the middle of them. They are ready to explode all over their targets. 4th base down for Eric. No 4th yet for Masa. No 4th CC yet either. More production capabilities being added on, more factories. Corruptors here to fight against the battlecruisers, but the battlecruisers arrived in the main, and again, there's not a lot here. Just 1 queen and 1 spore to defend. We see Corruptors both getting exploded by that Yamato cannon, and more drones getting roasted. Zerg being run by here going into the 4th, but there is some stuff here to defend against it. Battlecruisers even warping back here. Very wisely done. 5 drone kills, and they're going to be able to finish off the rest of these Zerglings. The Zerglings, meanwhile, causing moderate damage to some of the Cyclones and Hellions here trying to defend the base. Masa feeling confident enough to land that mule. Expeditionary Force of Hellions out. Now, Masa hasn't found this 4th base yet. He must know it's up. Probably going to wait for it to get a little bit more saturated before he moves out with another timing of those Hellions. Just as I say it, Hellions moving out. Lots of Roach Ravager coming in off the top, though. Corruptors here to try and fight off the battlecruisers. Hellions out of position. They're going to find this 4th base, and they're not going to see anything there to fight against it. He must know that something's going on. No army coming to attack him, and this is going to be the first thing that Masa sees. Oh no, his wall is down. The Roaches are going to get in. Banelings destroying 3 of those supply depots. The wall now wide open. Scan going down. Masa realizing he's in a bit of trouble here. Battlecruisers firing up the Yamato cannons. Corruptors trying to rain some corrosive biles down. Corrosive biles not landing. Battlecruisers focus firing the Corruptors, but that's a very slow process. Roaches and Ravagers pushing forward. Masa struggling to keep up here. Hellbats have attacked from the back here. A little pincer action coming on from Masa as he's attacking from the northeast and from the southeast at the same time, and this is going to force Eric's units into a corner. Eric not producing anything right now, just using his last round of larva to make as much as he could. 7 more Corruptors and some more drones on the way, but a nice hold there by Masa. Masa losing a lot of his key units, but all 3 battlecruisers still alive. 4 battlecruisers now, last one getting added on. Zergling run by coming through. 4th command center now getting started for Masa. Eric's 4th base is finished but not saturated. Army supply crazy in favor of Masa. That was a big overcommitment from Eric, and he lost so much in that attack. Masa really able to swing around. What really changed the tide of the battle here was that a lot of Masa's reinforcements were coming up here from the south, but he had some Hellions that had come around from this northeast position, swung up that ramp, and were able to sort of squish in and get really, really good surface area, firing Hellion shots and Hellbat shots all over the Roaches and Ravagers there. Battlecruisers trying to be sneaky, sneaking around here. Might try and pick off this base. This is something we've seen Masa do several times. A fleet of 3 battlecruisers can take out a hatchery in just about 10 seconds, which is not very much time, especially when the Corruptors are slightly out of position here. Now, luckily, they're by the 3rd base, but these battlecruisers already moving in here, going to save their Yamato cannons for when the Corruptors arrive. Should be able to Yamato down some Corruptors and then GTF out of there. Immediate, transition out. So a nice play there by Masa. Gets the battlecruisers out, gets them back home, and should be able to defend against this Roach run by that's going into the 4th base as well. Next command center on the way. That'll make 5 total command centers for Masa. Moving into position to start harvesting some minerals here from this 4th command center location. Eric's 4th command center is now up. Looks like he's getting some saturation done on it. No more drones in production just yet. 57 drones to 84. The income difference this game wildly in favor of Masa. Masa playing it much more safe, not expanding until he's 100% certain he can defend the location. Again, little hit and run attacks from this little battle mech army can be really, really efficient and really, really effective. Cyclones locked onto a hatchery can do so much damage. Actually, ooh, Masa sniffing out these roaches. Is going to see him here. Locks on with a Cyclone. Very quick reaction time there from Masa. Is going to lock onto one roach. Roaches from the back. Again, Eric trying to repeat the pincer move. I'm not sure he's got enough roach fire there to really connect with all these things. And in fact, yeah, he definitely doesn't. Hellion's caught in the back there, but it is going to take down that 4th base, and that's a big win there for Masa, whose battlecruisers are mustering at 12 o'clock, ready to head back into the main. Spire is up for Eric. Of course it is. Evolution Chamber as well. Planetary Fortress on the way. Oh, those poor larvae. They didn't do anything to hurt you, Masa. Come on, you monster. Battle cruisers moving into the main, pecking down a queen, going for more. Oh god, more Yamato cannons going down. A lot of corruptors going down. A lot of corruptors are still up though. This is a flock of 9 corruptors. It looks like for Eric. Yeah, 9 corruptors on the field for Eric. That's enough to put up a pretty good fight against those battlecruisers, but the battlecruiser fleet continuing to grow. 5 battlecruisers, all at full health once they get repaired. Masa doing a good job keeping those alive. Meanwhile, the battle mech army on the ground looking pretty scary. Again, army supply is very similar. Masa slightly ahead, but the income is really where it's going to make the difference here. 84 harvesters to only 57. Masa definitely looking like he may advance here in game number 5. Again, a good pick here. Masa going to see that there's simply nothing there at the 5th base. Picks off both those Vespene geysers, should the game come to an unlikely base trade scenario. And here we go. Nope, Masa again, hitting and running, being very responsible, not overcommitting to any of this, and again, sending these battlecruisers up to the north side of the map. While he hits and runs, sends the battlecruisers up, trying to distract the Roach army from Masa. Masa trying to struggle to get positioning here. Roaches on both sides, but again, Masa being very, very good at wiggling away from this Roach army. Has an escape route for every single one of these hit and run attacks that he's doing, making sure that he's not going to get completely surrounded. And as Eric's positioning around with half of his Roaches, the other half of his Roaches are simply getting destroyed. Battlecruisers moving into the main, the Roaches trying to attack into this, but now the Roaches are all together, and that's going to be it. Eric is going to tap out, and Masa is going to take the best of 5, 3-2. Whoa. What a great match that was. Ladies and gentlemen, your Canadian Terran player, Masa, gonna move on to the best of 7 grand finals to play against the winner of this next match. It's gonna be Art versus B. All right, it's going to be just a minute here, guys, as we get this next match set up. I've got to move over to the EU server as Art and B are both European players. All right, sorry for the delay, guys. We're setting up the map now. All right. So let's see if our bracket's been updated here. Bracket still says 2-2. Not quite yet. Waiting on our co-casters to come through as well. Let me see if they're in. Nope, okay. All right, so Art and B are at the bottom half of our bracket here. B, of course, the Russian Zerg player, and Art, the Polish Protoss player. Got a couple more co-casters that are waiting to get into the game here. All right. Good to see y'all in the chat. Alpha X Axis. Thank you so much. I'm really enjoying casting these games so far, man. This has just been super fun. See if the bracket's updated. Aha, it is. So I can update the bracket here. Give me just 1 minute. There it is. Boom, bracket has been updated. Let's take a look at the bracket. This brings us to the bottom half of the bracket, going to be B versus Art. Masa, of course, moving on. So Eric has been knocked out. This is a single elimination tournament, meaning that Eric has taken a third, fourth place finish. He will walk away with $10, which is not bad. Certainly not enough as the definitely worth the games that he is playing. So well played by Eric. Masa moves on to the finals. The winner of the finals will win a $40 purse. The second place person only, of course, getting $20. So we're waiting now for our co-casters to show up in the lobby as we wait for B and Eric to play their match. I do want to take this moment while we're waiting to give a quick shout out to some of the sponsors who make these matches possible. Guys, it's early January. You may have gotten some games for Christmas, or you may be watching AGDQ and thinking, wow, some of those old games look really cool. I should pick one up. I highly encourage you. Head over to your local GameStop. They're all over the United States, and I think all over the world as well. GameStop offers cash for trade-in games, and you can get all the newest and some legacy releases there at GameStop. GameStop has lovingly provided some of the funding for this tournament, and we are so grateful for their help. And that's it. GameStop. Go check them out. Okay. Co-casters heading in. Okay. Boom. All right. Finally, you hear the countdown. You hear the sound. You know what is going on. B, the Russian Zerg player from the 3D clan, and Art, the Polish Protoss player on Alpha X. Again, looking at our bracket here, we've seen Masa advance in an incredible 3-2 series lasting 2 hours. Wow. To go into the finals to face the winner of B and Art. All right. And we're ready to roll. Our first map of the day, randomly chosen, is Zen. LE. So, relax your shoulders. Feel your shoulder blades sliding down your ribs. Straighten your back. Breathe deeply with your diaphragm, not with your chest. And observe our first player of the day. In the top right corner, hailing from Poland and Alpha X, It is art. And as you align your chakra and center yourself in a seated mountain pose, observe the player in the bottom right, in the red. From 3D, it is the Russian Zerg player, B. You feel relaxed? It's a good map. Zen has a good energy. I hope these players bring us an equally good energy in the game. As Nightbot is quick to point out there, now that link is not quite right, so I do just want to update really quickly. Correction. That is the Matcherino link. If you would like to say a quick thank you to these players for the heck of a show that they have been putting on for us today, I highly encourage you, head over to the Matcherino, enter the code AXCOM27, and that'll contribute 50 cents absolutely free of charge. It doesn't come out of your pocket. It comes from the generous donations from Matcherino and our sponsors. Using those codes also shows Matcherino that our matches are something that you like to see and helps us get more codes in the future. So if you haven't yet, head over to Matcherino. You can use your Twitch to log in. You don't even have to do anything like that. You don't have to enter your personal info or anything. And you can contribute 50 cents that goes straight to the players. I'm not getting paid for these matches. Alpha X isn't taking a cut. Straight to the prize pool for these players. Third base down for B, a little bit earlier this game than usual. 2 Adepts are getting pushed out here. Should be able to escape, though, with the Shade. Very nicely done there by Art. And, oh, Art, you sneaky bitch. And B immediately scouts it out. B knows that the Dark Shrine is coming. Now, when your Dark Shrine gets scouted this early as a Protoss player, it's very common to just cancel it. Not even try. Just like, you know what? You caught me. Not gonna do it. But in this case, Art, continuing to build this Warp Prism, may send the Warp Prism across the map and count on B failing to get any sort of detection. Now, I highly doubt that's the case. We do have a lair about to finish up. Some Overseers should be incoming quite shortly. That's going to render these DTs maybe not as effective as they otherwise might be. Warp Prism and the Adepts are going to get caught, so B knows exactly where Art is. Art being the least stealthy DT player I think I've ever seen in my life. 3 DTs warping in already. That said, only 1 Overseer on the make, and it's in the main. These DTs are going straight into the third base. Going to force a pull of these drones for sure. Going straight to work on the third base. Overseer, however, is out. Is popping over. 4 Queens are there. These DTs won't have the opportunity to get that third base all the way down. What a shame. It was a cute little play there. However, it does mean the Adepts are going to be able to get into the natural here. Get 2 drone kills for the cost of 2 Adepts, but 11 more drones on the way. B is in pretty good shape now. 4th DT getting warped in. Overlord see the Archons morphing in. B gonna get in here and get some damage as these Archons morph in. This is a bad place for Art to be. He's gonna be able to pick up both those Archons immediately. Now there's nothing to fire down onto this Warp Prism. So these Archons are gonna be very, very annoying. We see Pneumatized Carapace finishing up for that speedy Overseer. Zergling speed on the way. Roach speed behind this. B going for Zergling Roach. And getting that Pneumatized Carapace just so we can get a good scout off on everything that's going on. Again, Archons being slightly annoying, picking off this Overlord. A couple more Archons getting morphed in as well. with some Zealots behind it. Now, the Hydralisk Den coming out from B should help him to fight against this just a little bit. Losing another Overlord due to carelessness. Uh-oh, B. You can't lose Overlords like that if you really want to be good at this game. 2 more Archons moving around to the main base here. I really like that Art is really utilizing the 4 Archon build. It's rare to see that many happening. Archons getting dropped into the main now. Going straight for the drones. Is going to scatter the Baneling Nest as well. Meanwhile, Archon's getting pushed away. A couple Zealots there. Archon's outside the 3rd. Forces a response. A DT even getting warped in. Now, the Overseer will see it. The Overseer is moving. The DT's still alive. This is a really nice aggression here from Art. B, forced to respond up north, trying to move into the 3rd base. B's army is split all over this map right now. The DT still alive in the main base with no detection available. Overseer almost dead. If you watch very carefully, you'll see Art very, very carefully trying to destroy this Overseer. A good transfuse, though, from B is going to be able to clean all of this up. DT nowhere to be found. Archon's moving back in. Picking up one more drone. That's 18 drone kills so far. Art's harassment has been fantastic. Archon's waiting outside the 3rd base, ready to move in should the army be further distracted. Overseer here again. B doing a good job responding to this Warp Prism. DT's getting warped in, though, back home, it looks like. Setting those DTs out where the Overseer may not be. B, of course, has been a bit distracted. B has lost a bit of economy. And I was going to say, maybe reticent to build more Overseers. Is going to build a couple Dropper Lords. But right now, if you look at the units tab, there's only 2 Overseers on the map, and they're both with that main army. That means that these DTs who sneak in, oh my god, at all the times that B could be opening up that gateway. Now is the wrong time. These DTs going to run straight into the Overseer. That's a real shame. A bit of miscontrol there from Art. However, the Immortals still alive. Going to catch those Dropper Lords, also a good pickup there. Maybe those Dropper Lords were supposed to be more Overseers. I'm not sure why you'd make Dropper Lords right where you did. An unusual choice, certainly, from B. But Art, so far, in good control of this game. Take a look at the income tab. We can see B was doing very well there until that harassment from Art finally came through. Back home, Art adding on some Immortals, bulking up the army just a little bit, moving the entire army to this north side. Wow, look at all those Archons. That's a huge warp in. Art with a very dangerous-looking army. Even though it's only 65 army supply, a little behind B. Art, I think, has some really bulky units here. Needs to make sure that he gets good positioning, and will have a chance to take a good fight here. Hydralisks are going to go straight for that Warp Prism. Art immediately moving the Warp Prism back. Some nice force fields going to zone out some of this army, but it looks like most of the Hydralisks still shooting onto these Archons. Art moving forward very aggressively. Needs another big warp in, some Zealots to soak up some of the damage. Banelings going down on some of those Zealots. That's not what he wants the Banelings to attack onto. That's a really, really good attack there from Art. I think B's going to be able to clean it up there. Warp Prism does go down. Immortals and Archons still alive, though. Finally, the surround goes down on these Immortals, forces the recall out of those Immortals, and B is going to be able to hold. Both players doing fairly well in that game, I thought. Interesting engagement. What happened there was that Art had put some force fields down, but then moved the rest of his army close enough to the force fields where even the Hydralisks that were zoned out at the bottom here were still shooting onto his Archons in the south here. The point of force fields is to prevent some of those units from firing at you, so you can take out half the army and then take out the other half of the army. Art getting a little too aggressive and failing to do so. Stalker picked off ruthlessly. Storm about to finish up here. A couple more High Templar getting warped in. DT moving in to the 4th base. Might be able to force a cancel on this hatchery. Overseer is here. Hydralisk will take that out, though, very quickly. A good catch by B. B staying more and more active, but I do love that Art is trying to get those DTs in wherever he can. I'm a little surprised, honestly, to see that B has not made any spine crawlers yet. Or spore crawlers yet, even just, to help take some of the mental load off. Zergling run by should force a cancel at this 4th base. That's a good pickup there by B. Art going to lose a base that he desperately needed. Income fairly even now for these two players. After that attack from Art that didn't quite work the way he had hoped, we see a Lurker Den on the way, right next to the Infestation Pit. Hive Tech almost certainly incoming soon. 14 Banelings morphing in as this Gateway army from Art begins to push its way up the map. A lot of charged Zealots. Archons. couple of High Templars in the back, banking up at least 4 storms. Hydralisks on the way. This army from B looks very scary, but a couple storms will be able to neutralize it quite quickly. I'd love to see the storm drops going on with the High Templar loaded in. Oh man, another Zergling run back, gonna force another cancel. Art is trying to get this base up twice now. Uh-oh, Zergling's gonna surround the Archon as well. The Archon a little overconfident in his powers, I'm afraid. And it is gonna be destroyed. Actually, that forced the entire army from Art back home. Hive Tech now on the way. Stargate getting added on. As well as a second robo facility. Nexus? I don't think so. Zergling chasing down the probe. Certainly another Zergling run by happening. Almost as soon as B can muster up some Zerglings. We see Lurkers now in production. Uh-oh. Bit of lag. Bit of lag. Uh-oh. B lagging just a little bit. Mickey, our Russian player, is B. B is our Russian player. Art hails from Poland. A very slow pause here from B. Looks like B may have actually dropped out of the map. We're going to wait for B to drop all the way out, and then we'll probably have to resume this game from replay. Because it looks like B is not going to be able to reconnect. Okay. Okay, that's no problem. All right, so we're going to have to resume this game from replay. Unfortunately, B dropping. It looks like the connection being lost there for a moment. Luckily, nothing was happening on the map while that was going on. But you see here, recover game. All right, we'll see if we can recover this game with Art and B. B seems to have dropped completely off of the game. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Getting this game remade. Looks like B may be having a couple problems getting into the game. Not sure what this is. Okay. Sorry for the delay, guys. We can pull up the bracket, I guess, while we're waiting and just take another look in case anybody's just joining us. Masa and Eric went to game number 5. Masa finally taking the win over Eric. And then, yeah, B and Art currently in game number 1. Okay. Ah, okay, so B's computer crashed. See if we're ready to go here. Art is ready to go. B is ready. Let's get back into it. 12:01 timing. Okay. All right, perfect. Finally going here. Yes, the cat pulled out the the internet cable there. We're going to restart this game at the 12-minute mark with B and Art. And the game currently recovering. Oh man, the recovery process so slow. This bar just has so much work to go. Oh, pardon me, it's going so slow right now. While we're in this quick break, guys, I will remind you there is a Matcherino. If you haven't yet contributed, it looks like we're up to $17.50 in the Matcherino pool, which is really great. Again, any of that money that you do in the Matcherino, that you contribute to the Matcherino, goes straight to the players as a thank you for putting on these fantastic games. So when you have the chance, please do hop over to the Matcherino. That link is not quite right. I'll give you the new link in the chat there, and that'll add 50 cents to the Matcherino, free of charge for you. It doesn't come out of your pocket. Just use the code AXCOM27. That's AXCOM27 on Matcherino, and it'll add 50 cents as a donation, as a way to say thanks to our players who are working real hard right now. So B's computer has just crashed. We're about to recover. Game number 1 at the 12-minute mark. And it looks like we are in. Okay. Ooh, the double countdown. I gave him the double countdown. Nice. All right. So when the game last left off, we saw Art moving his army back up into the north side here, just about to start an attack on the top base. B not quite ready to respond to it. He's going to lose that base that had been softened up slightly by a DT. A couple big storms going down on those Hydralisks. Very nicely played, but the problem is now that Art is out of force fields, so he's going to have to rely on storms just to zone these Hydralisks out. The Hydralisks are melting under the storm, though. Archon's moving forward, and that was a big win of an engagement for Art. Lurkers just finally getting into position a very little bit late there. Lurkers getting in position a little bit late there. Not able to contribute to that attack, and Art is going to hit and run, taking out that fourth base and getting the heck out of there. Meanwhile, the fourth base for Art finally might actually get up this time. Reminder that B has taken down this base 3 different times during this game. Art really excited to finally get something going economy-wise. We can see that B is trying to take a lead in economy, but that's just because Art hasn't got a fourth base up yet. Once Art's fourth base is up, I think Art is going to be able to be in a good position. Zergling run by here should get taken out. DT and a couple Zealots will be able to fry up all these Zerglings, I believe. Immortal coming across. Very nicely played. Zerglings again going to try and run by here. Shield batteries coming down, though. And a photon cannon as well to help clean up any pesky Zergling run-bys that do go through. This is going to embolden Art to move on to creep in the middle of the map. Hydralisk, oh no, some bad army control there is going to force Art to lose a couple units there, including 1 Immortal and some sentries, which is a real shame. You've got to have as many sentries as you can to block out this army if you really, really want to take out these Lurkers. If you want to kill those Lurkers, you got to get some Archons. You got to use those force fields. And then you'll be a Protoss god. That worked out, right? That was pretty good. Lurker range is just finished up. Lurker burrow speed about to be added on as well. Storms going down here as Art engages again, trying to take out this northern base here at the 10 o'clock position. Getting on top of the Lurkers. A lot of the Lurkers going down. In fact, every last Lurker is going to get taken out here. The army for Art looking very strong here. B struggling under the pressure. The GG well played goes down, and Art takes game number 1. All right, we'll take that bracket down as it's no longer super accurate. Art going to go up 1 game to 0. No bans. Loser picks the next map. So B is going to choose map number 2 in this best of 5 series. All right, we've got our players in the lobby here, waiting on the caster, and then we'll be ready to roll. B watching a replay. What? Come on, B. No, because B was talking in chat a moment ago. Okay, Art's going to take a 1-minute break, I guess. And B is in a replay? Huh. How strange. Okay, well, Art needs a quick break for 1 minute, so we'll take a quick break for 1 minute as well, and I'll take the opportunity to thank our second sponsor of the day, 24-Hour Fitness. It is a new year. It is a new you. There is never a better time than today to improve yourself for tomorrow. 24-Hour Fitness has locations all over the United States, and you can get into a 24-Hour Fitness dirt cheap. Please hop onto the 24-Hour Fitness website, see if there's one near you, and get in there. Classes, weights, bikes, treadmills, whatever you want to do, you can do it, baby. Many of you are wondering how I stay fit, trim, and beautiful. I do a lot of yoga. You interested in yoga? 24-Hour Fitness has you covered. Go on to 24hourfitness.com and check them out today. So B is having some real troubles. There we go. Okay. There we go. B's finally in game. There it is. Game number 2 on its way between B and Art. Currently, of course, Art up 1-0. B crumpling under the pressure. Art with some really good Immortal Archon pushes, and that's going to lead him to a 1-game lead so far up against B. Gas boy. We believe. I do as well. I believe that the Russian Zerg can win, and I believe he has a chance to defeat Art today, and I believe. It's a great song. All right, in the top. Left-hand corner in the pink. Playing as Protoss, hailing from Poland, and Team Alpha X, it is Art. And in the bottom corner, buzzing in red, buzzing from Russia, and buzzing from 3D Clan, it's the busy boy himself, B. Busy Bumblebee, busy buzzy Bumblebee. Doing good. All right. So, Probe going to get in, sees the natural, knows that he's under no threat of imminent attack. Probe from Art has not yet seen the spawning pool, but we'll catch it on the go-around here, I think. Yeah, there it is. Sees that spawning pool, gets the timing, knows that he's in pretty good shape. Pretty standard hatch-first build here for B. That's going to embolden Art to go ahead and drop that natural expansion. Notice that he's not in any immediate danger. Cybercore just finishing up on the low ground here as Art finishes the wall off. Of course, in any Protoss matchup, you're really looking for that third technology building. Classic opening, gateway, maybe 2. Cybernetics core, and then whatever comes next. And that's really what dictates the pace of the game as the game goes on. Let me just adjust Nightbot here. There we go. Cybercore is going down. We see both gases taken and fully saturated for Art, which is going to indicate a Stargate. And there it is. The Stargate is going to pop down for Art. Unscouted as of yet by B. B just looking at the natural expansion so far, parking the Overlord. But B, going to go ahead and grab a third there at the 2.5-minute mark. A very aggressively economic play from our Russian Zerg player. B, going up to 3 bases very quickly. That is, of course, going to make it more difficult to defend against the Oracles and Phoenix coming out from that Stargate. Man, look at B's fingers fly. Average of 600 APM. That is insane. That is 10 actions per second. You know how fast seconds are, right? You've heard of seconds? You're familiar with a second? He's doing 10 things every one of those. Granted, it's early game. He could be spamming some of that. Still, I don't think I can do 10 actions a minute if you just... or 10 actions a second if I just mashed my keys on the keyboard. Overlord getting in here. Phoenix is going to be able to pop it down, but he's going to see absolutely everything. Of course, he knows there was a Stargate there from the Phoenix. Isn't going to be able to see the Oracle pop out there. The Oracle not quite finished yet. Phoenix scouting across the map, trying to catch any other Overlords that it possibly can. Ho! 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 Whoa! All right. All right. This is what's up. Art dropping the second Stargate behind this. Oh, baby. Oh, I love it. Another gateway as well, just in case there's an imminent attack. But B has not been building really any aggressive units so far. Second Stargate, down now. Baneling Nest on the way for B. That's a bad read. That's not what he needs right now. Oracle getting in and try and fry some Zerglings. A nice little pull there from B, though. Art going to take some damage on both of his units there, but will get out with both the Phoenix and the Oracle alive. Phoenix harassing some of these Overlords. The Overlords luckily do have pneumatic carapace, so they move a little bit more quickly. And oh, it's Mass Phoenix. Oh, it's Mass Phoenix. Oh, it's Mass Phoenix, everyone! Yes! All right, so double Phoenix coming out now for Art. I haven't seen Max Phoenix in forever. I love it. I love it, Art. Oh, man, I hope you drop a Fleet Beacon so fast. Get that upgrade. And then go into Flux Veins just to flux with everybody, right? That'd be phenomenal. Man, this makes it even better because B is already spread out on 3 bases, probably looking to take a 4th soon. And if that 4th goes down, that's going to be, oh man, Phoenix is going to be really, really effective against that. See if Art keeps cranking out the Phoenix here. Flock of 5 Phoenix now coming across the map. Gonna pop into the natural here, lift up the Queen, should be able to get a lot of probe kills here. Good energy on those Phoenix as well. Initial kill going down on the Overlord. Queen getting a couple shots off. The first Overlord is gonna go down. Second Overlord gonna get picked off as well. Art being very, very aggressive with these Phoenix, but note that he stopped Phoenix production up top here. He hasn't pushed out any more Phoenix since those initial 5. Dropping more gateways. Glaive Adept. Mass Phoenix into Glaive Adept. Very interesting. Well, not even Mass Phoenix, just 5 Phoenix. That second Stargate pumped out like, what, 2 Phoenix and then was good? Huh. Be darned. Well, a couple more drones are going to get picked off there by those Phoenix. Good control here so far by Art. B has a little Zergling force set up to run by. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so many Banelings. This is the biggest Baneling bust I've ever seen at 6.5 minutes into a game. 16 Banelings morphing in. Gonna join the 7 Banelings already on the field. I'm not a math guy, but I think that's 23 Banelings. And here we go, baby. 1 shield battery, not quite gonna be enough. Beautiful force fields from Art there, saving everything. Of course, B, undeterred, just gonna move straight in to the natural. Should be able to set up a force field there as well. Art defending against this unbelievably well, but here we go. Now there's no force fields left. Banelings crashing in to a couple of these units here. We'll pick off a pylon and a shield battery. A couple Banelings getting in to, wow, roasting 10 of those probes. That's so many probes. Zerglings here to clean up the rest. 14 probes on the make. That third base completely destroyed. That said, the third base still standing. All the probes may be dead. The shield battery and pylon may be dead, but the third base is still alive. That was a really, really good play by B, but Art is nowhere near out of this game so far. And okay, now he might be. Army getting caught on the outside here, forcing a huge warp in of more Adepts. Zerglings are going to swarm around this third base here. The Protoss army able to clean up some more of these Zerglings, but a really, really nice run by here. And B committed to taking down this Nexus. The Nexus lower and lower and lower and... oh my god. Oh my god. What? No. What? No. What? No. No. Oh my god, he gets it. Holy crap. The last Zergling sharks around to take out that third base. Oh, Art losing it. The last Zergling sneezing on the Nexus and taking it down. Art back down to 2 bases. This is going to force him to move out across the map with those Phoenix, with his small gateway army, with what, 1 Immortal, 2 Immortal? and a Warp Prism, and try and put pressure on the third base of B. B has a fourth base up by now, is making 2 Dropper Lords as well, has some Zerglings sharking out on the map to try and zone some of this stuff out. Big Warp in, but it's spotted. B moving into position here with the Hydralisks, with the Queens, with the Banelings. Art taking a really good fight, though, in this crevice here. Zergling sneaking around behind. A decent force field is going to cut off, or a decent stasis trap, going to cut off a couple of these Hydralisks there. 2 of the Hydralisks are down. All of those force fields doing a really nice job there. I'm so lucky. Art is so lucky. Bailing bombs, trying to rain down on the army, but not really getting what they want. Art actually taking an exceptional engagement there. Exceptional. Warping of more Stalkers. 9 more Hydralisks on the make. Wasting some energy on this Spore Crawler, trying to get some of the Phoenix to engage more into the fight here. Picking up some Queens, picking up some Hydralisks. It's going to be really key here. We see a lot of the Graviton beams going down. 3 Queens lifted up into the air. There are no more force fields, which means that the Arc of the Covenant, the Arc of the Aggression around B is going to be a lot more effective. But that said, B simply doesn't have enough units. Art able to keep the entire Protoss army together. It doesn't matter that he got caught in a pincer move. Art is going to win game number 2. Art taking a quick game number 2 there, defending incredibly well against those Baneling bombs, or those Baneling attacks on his third. Even though he lost the third, he got so many of those Banelings. It was absolutely incredible. So, we are on a loser chooses the map setting today. So B gets to choose map number 3 for us today. So B gets to choose map number 3 after losing maps 1 and 2. A reminder, guys, this is just the bottom half of the bracket. We are in the semifinals right now. The semifinals are both best of 5. The finals a best of 7. All right, we've got our next map chosen. B has chosen Simulacrum for our next map. Gonna get both of our players in here. A little bit slow, and invite. All right, baby. There we go. Art currently up 2 games to 0. Can he do the clean sweep, or will B, just as Eric tried to do in game number 1, get the reverse sweep? A reminder, Masa won the first 2 games of our first best of 5. Eric took the next 2 off of him before Masa was able to win that 3rd game and shut Eric down. It was a hell of a series, and this one also not too shabby. With that, let's get in to game number 3. In the bottom right-hand corner, in the pink, playing Protoss from Clan Alpha X, it is Art. And his opponent, in the top right, in the red, from Russia, and representing Zerg, it is 3D B. Hang on just 1 minute, guys. Gonna try and do something here. All right, there we go. Boom. Okay. B, going for a hatch first. With the spawning pool behind it. Just like last game, just as the game before it. No early hatch shenanigans for B so far in this best of 5. All 3 games played clean, played macro, played to the end of the game. So Gasboy in chat has just said, be aggressive, be aggressive, which is an amazing chant. I asked some of my European streamers, or some of my European viewers, if they were familiar with the be aggressive chant, and they had no idea what I was talking about. So even in English-speaking countries, it is apparently not a common cheer at, like, middle and high school basketball games. It must be a uniquely American experience, and it was something I had never considered before, that someone would not understand. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. They were blown away. And then, of course, one of the Europeans noted how comical it was that that American school children were being indoctrinated, that aggression was a positive quality. I thought it was pretty funny myself. Had never considered that before. All right. So again, similar to last game here, we're seeing Pneumatized Carapace first out of B. We're seeing Stargate first out of Art. Art, of course, went up to double Stargate last game. See if he does that again this game. I'd be surprised if he did. I feel like last game Art went to double Stargate and then didn't really commit to it. Just made a few Phoenix. Pardon me. Just made a few Phoenix and then concentrated on his ground game after that. So far, first Oracle is out. Overlord gonna get in, and we'll scout that. Of course, just as his other Overlord gets picked off by the Phoenix there. Pneumatized Carapace helping B to get in and out safely. He's even gonna bring that Overlord all the way back home, just to keep it safe. We'll see the Oracle coming out here, and B actually gonna leave that Overlord to live. No, you can't get away from it that quickly. You gotta make sure it's dead before you leave, buddy. The Overlord will go down just as the Oracle pops out. Art sending the Oracle and the Phoenix down to that south side of the map. Queen moving into position to try and defend against it. Doesn't want to lose quite as many drones as he lost last time. Of course, last time B lost the game pretty early, if we're honest, by losing a lot of drones early on. That's not something we want to see again this time around. 2 queens down here to defend, 4 queens down here to defend, and that's going to force Art right out. And again, we see Art not... Okay, so this game, differently. We see Art not grabbing a second Stargate, instead going for a much more standard follow-up. Gonna get that Warp Prism out from the Robo Facility. Gonna get the Adept Glaives going on. And just build up a big ground army for that solid 6, 7, 8 minute push. Depending on when he wants to leave his base. Baneling Nest, of course, on the way again for B, with a third base already saturated. Now, a couple games ago, Art really struggled to get a third base up and running. B was able to really put the kibosh on that third base of Art with some good... Oh, man, that Zergling run by almost was very dangerous. A good pickup, though, from those Zerglings picking off the probe who was going to get that third base. Oracle pops out, chases those Zerglings away. The Zerglings did snap down the probe that wanted to go build the base, which is a nice play. Adept Glaive's about to be finished here, and a big Adept Warp in from Art. B, unsuspecting, won't see it just yet. The movement a little bit south. Phoenix corralling in some of these Overlords. Overlord in the bottom. We're going to see another big warp in here. First Observer coming out for Art. Hydralisk Den on the way. Overseer is going to see it, though. Here we go. And now Art knows. Now B knows, rather. That's going to force Art up into this third base, but it gives B just enough time to move some queens down and start morphing in some banelings. Even the drones getting evacuated from this base. 2 drones immediately going down. Spore Crawler getting taken down. Warp Prism going to set up for another big Adept Warp in here. This is an Adept all in, ladies and gentlemen. Robotics facility back home, pumping out an Immortal. The third base certainly going to go down here for B. Is Art going to pick up and leave after that third base goes down? I think not. Banelings now coming in. Shade forward. Adepts pushing those Banelings back. A good cancel there by Art. As soon as that Observer comes out, he can continue to pick up Creep Tumors. B rebuilding here up at the what is this? The 11 o'clock base, give or take. Another Overseer getting in. Will scout out the base. Adepts shading forward here. Let's see if he completes that shade. No, he's going to cancel that shade again as the Adepts march around the bottom side of the base. Now with the Observer here, Creep Tumors can be picked off. The creep can be receded just a little bit. And these Adepts going to get on top of this fourth base. Banelings rushing forward, but the micro from Art looks really, really good right now. A nice shade away, and Art is going to be able to get out alive. Transfuse onto the queen. B keeps that alive. Third base now down for Art, but this time the game has changed. Art is now the one in complete control of the map. Art is going to be able to decide when B moves out and when B stays there. Zergling should catch this Warp Prism going around to the main base. He might actually just be trying to fake B out a little bit and get him to get some of his army up into the main. It doesn't appear to be the case, though, as Art is now coming across. Zergling run by onto the third. There is an Adept here and an Oracle, which should be able to clean those up. The Probe even getting in to chase these out. Changeling sneaking in to see what he can see. More Adepts, 2 Immortals, plenty of force fields, and look at all these sentries. Goodness gracious, he's got force fields for days. You want a new map? Build one of your own. He's going to be a block off that ramp. Catches a couple of the drones as well. The other third base for B almost certainly forfeit. B going to lose his third base for the second time this game, and that is miserable. Look at the income tab. B barely ahead, but Art able to get this third base established now. B's going to go for a little bit of a counter push with his Zergling run by here, but it looks like Art wants to keep this aggression on. Again, Banelings loaded up into those Dropper Lords. A couple Banelings connecting to some of the army, but some timely force fields are going to stop them from going out. Immortal is in front of those force fields. Zergling trying to get us around here, but some nice pickup micro there by Art is going to force B back. 18 drones have now been slaughtered. Zergling run by has been cleaned up. Art still aggressing. Where's the Observer for Art? Observer must have gone down in all of that. So another Observer being built here, so we can't pick off these creep tumors just yet. This Overlord's certainly dead for this world. The Changeling should be taken out here pretty quickly, as Art should realize there are no Zealots in my army. What am I, a fool? Phoenix is going to see that the third base there has not been rebuilt. B trying to retake the third base here at the 11 o'clock position. Forge going down. Art ready to move into some upgrades, but keeping this army out on the map. Art doing an amazing job this game of controlling the pace and the flow and keeping map control. Another flow of Zerglings going to come through here. But again, Oracle, Adept. Should be able to keep it at bay for just long enough so that B's not really willing to commit. Warp in of a couple Zealots, and B should be just fine against those Zerglings. Zerglings again hopping into the mineral line here. Zealots going the wrong way. Whoa! There's another warp in. A couple of probes will go down, but not the end of the world there for Art. Art going to lose 3 probes, chase those Zerglings away, and it forces a couple of Zealot warp ins. That is going to bring Art's army all the way back home. Art not going to engage until he moves up to the next level of tech in his army. The next level of tech, of course, Storms, Archons, Immortals. Storms, Templar, Archons. Adepts into the main base. This got sniffed out fairly quickly, though. The Warp Prism will get away. Those Adepts will get cleaned up. It looks like only 1 drone casualty there, as the Hydralisks clean up the rest of that army. Art's army looking quite scary, though. Again, if we look at the income tab here, Art with complete control, destroying B's base twice now. B just finally getting that third base up just in time for Art to muster another army and send it across the map. 4th base down for B, or for Art. 4th base down for Art. More Dropper Lords getting morphed in here, as well as an Overseer. B ready to rain those Banelings down on top of the army of Art. Art needs to be very careful. He's only got a couple Stalkers in play. There's not a lot of firepower to stop those Dropper Lords once the Banelings are moved in. B, feeling confident. Gonna move the Banelings forward, but some big storms and some beautiful force fields gonna neutralize all of those Banelings. Not a single Baneling destroying on its target. A couple of low shields, but not much else. Here we go. Dropper Lord's trying to get some Banelings in. The Dropper Lord goes down without unloading, and Art playing B like a fiddle right now. 1 Archon does get caught without morphing in, but man, some more good force fields, trapping some more Hydralisks. The number for B dropping. B with fewer workers, B with less army, and Art with nothing to lose. Income still in favor of Art. 4th base is up. Almost. Hang on. Wait for it. 4th base is up. There it is. All right, we're good now. Again, another little Zergling run by here. B has been very active with Zergling run bys in the last 3 games, and I can really appreciate that from a Zerg player. It's very often easy to feel as a Zerg player, like once you're behind, you're just behind. You're underwater. There's nothing you can do. But these Zergling run bys are going to really help B to come back in this game if he can get one off. Unfortunately, Art doing a good job defending against this. Art even moving in to do some more aggression onto this 3rd base, walling off. Oh, man. Zergling's not going to be enough. Returning from their little run by at the 3rd base. More Baneling mines, or Rainlings being dropped here, but I don't think it's going to be enough here. The Dropper Lord's not going to be enough in time. The 3rd base for B goes down again, and that's it. B gives the GG. Well played. Art climbs to a 3-0 clean sweep. moving him into the finals, where he will play against our Canadian Terran player, Masa. What a show. What a nice show there. Very nicely played by Art there. Okay. All right, we got to swap over to the North American server. So since we have a player from both the European and the North American servers, the rules here dictate that the first game is on North America, and then the other games rotate between North America and EU. So we're going to get the first custom game going here with Masa and Art. All right. Okay, so we're going to get Masa and Art in here, and then we're going to get going here with the final matches of the series. All right, guys, just before the final start, I do want to give a personal shout-out and a big thank you to somebody who has given me a lot of help the last 2 weeks as I've been streaming. As you may see, I've got this beautiful office space and this gorgeous view behind me of Minneapolis, Minnesota, a town in mourning right now as their NFL football team got destroyed in the playoffs yesterday. Condolences to any Minneapolis in the audience. That said, I want to give a quick shout out and a big thanks to Novel Co-working. This office space is in a building that is owned and operated by Novel Co-working. They offer co-working spaces for anyone. So if you are looking for somewhere in the States to run your small business, to house your medium-sized business, a fully serviced office, even if it's just you, one guy who needs a place to go every day to focus on your work, their prices, I believe, start at $130 a month. If you have ever looked for housing or for somewhere for your company to operate, you know that office space is not cheap, and $130 a month is dirt cheap. So if you're anywhere in the U.S. and you're looking for something, I'd highly recommend checking out Novel Co-working. They have been so kind to me to offer this space for free for the last 2 weeks as I've been casting and streaming some StarCraft. Thanks to Novel Co-working. Okay, we are waiting now for Art to hop in to the game. Art says he's coming. Just has to wait for his wooden PC, so that's no problem. Roasted Garlic catching the stream from work. This is a nice background, isn't it? Look at that. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So, ooh, hey, perfect. I can now update. Give me just 1 minute, guys. And we can take a look at our bracket. Yep. And done. Rock and roll. Let's catch this bracket up, guys. If you were wondering what has happened so far, our semifinals have now concluded. Series 1 was Masa versus Eric. And Masa won the first 2. Eric won the next 2. And in the rubber match, Masa finally pulled it out, moving on to the finals. And the lower half of the bracket, unfortunately, a bit more of a walkover. As there it is. Sorry, the bottom half of the bracket, a bit more of a walkover as Art did 3-0B. Now, the finals is a best of 7. So we're going to see at least 7, or at least 5 games, at least 4 games out of these guys. Hopefully not quite a walkover, but, okay, waiting on Art right now to get in. Okay. Guys, there's going to be a quick break here. We're waiting for Art to swap over, and I need to head to the restroom really quickly. So we're going to take a quick break before the finals with Masa and Art. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back with the finals after this. All right, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Thank you so much for your patience. It took some time to get Art over onto the North American server because we're playing the first game on NA East, I believe. Next game will be on the EU server. We're bouncing back and forth to make sure it's as fair as possible for both players. That said, our first map is set and we are ready to go. Huge shout out to Novel Co-working. Look at this view. Look at this view. Minneapolis, Minnesota has never looked prettier in January. All right, and we are in. Ladies and gentlemen, in the top left-hand corner, in the blue, from Clan Alpha X, representing Canada, it is Masa. And his Polish opponent, playing Protoss, in the pink, it is Art. Do you guys see what I see? Do you see it? Do you see it? I see it. Art's about to see it too. Art's about to realize what's going on. I wish we had face cams for the players, because this would be the time that I'd really, really want to see Art's reaction to realizing that he's getting proxied. First barracks is down. Now there's no second SCV out, so it's very unlikely to be a double proxy racks. Masa not committing super hard to this. Yep. Art realizes he's getting proxied, drops that pylon on the high ground. Gonna put the cybernetics core right behind it, prevent the Reaper from jumping up. And now that probe is gonna go hunting to see what he's up against. Oh, never mind. He's gonna hide this probe. Okay, no, he's gotta get out there. Yeah, there it is. SCV coming in. First Reaper on the way. Of course, that Reaper will have to go the long way around. because it's not going to be able to bounce up into the main here with the wall off on Ephemeron LE. Factory going down back home for Masa. First Reaper's out. Cybernetic scores down. First Stalker coming down, but this Reaper is going to have to juggle, or this Zealot is going to have to juggle this Reaper for a long-ass time. First shot goes to the Zealot, with the Reaper already in to the probe line. Immediate pull of 3 or 4 probes here. Nice grenade goes down. Stalker, about 7/8 of the way done. Getting chronoed out. 1 probe kill. Reaper whittling down some of the probes, and that is going to cause the Reaper to get out there. Proxy, oh my god, he's moving the Proxy Barracks into the main. Art has not seen it yet. Reaper still in here. Reaper still alive. Reaper barely still alive. 6 health, 8 health, 10 health. There goes the Reaper. Art failing to check this side of his base. He's checking around for all sorts of other proxies. Tech Lab going down on that factory for some Cyclones. Starport coming out, or oh my god, yeah, Starport coming down. Kid in the back of the base. Again, Art still has not, there he goes, now he sees it. 2 Marines coming into his base, getting behind that mineral line, just as the probe moves out to try and figure out what the heck's going on. Zealot out of position here. Sentry finally here. Marines gunning down what they can, but the Stalker has returned now. The Marines probably only get 3, maybe 5 kills if they're lucky. Both Marines going down, and that's going to force Masa up and out of this base. Marine getting a couple shots off, but it doesn't matter. A bit of an unusual opening here from Masa. Barracks will be scouting out, checking out what he's up against, sees the Robo facility, sees the Twilight Council, should know that Glaive Adepts are going to be ordered. Oh no, it's not going to be Glaive Adepts. Art going to change things up on us. Going straight for Blink Stalker. Meanwhile, Command Center on the high ground is moving down for Masa, getting that all-important bunker on the low ground as well. Once you sacrifice that many bio units, you cannot live without a bunker on that low ground. Raven coming out as well. Barracks looks like it will get away here, floating over to the other corner of the map. And yeah, Cyclone Tech now coming out. Mag Field Accelerator to make those magnetic guns on the Cyclone even scarier. Now, if we take a look here at Art's view, he's seen everything, you know, more or less. He's seen the starport with the tech lab on it. He's seen the factory. He has not yet seen the second barracks getting built, indicating that Masa's probably going bio this game. Scouting factory still moving around here. It's a very cheap scout if you think about it. 150 minerals, that ain't nothing. It is going to get burned down without getting back into the main base. Won't see anything else, but there's nothing else that's been added on so far. Factory goes down. Only thing that's been added is another gateway, and that's nothing really to miss. 2 Cyclones and a Raven out already. Cloak coming out for these Banshees. Raven into Cloaked Banshee. I'll be tanked. Observer, though, on its way out. 2 Observers already on the map. Observer, the natural. Observer, the main. Cloaked Banshee's not going to get a lot of play this game. There's even a shield battery here to protect against any Banshee shenanigans. So, second Banshee actually coming out, though, from Masa. Very surprising. Committing hard to a Cloaked Banshee play. Meanwhile, dropping his third base. Both players actually dropping their third bases. Art with a Nexus at its location, and the high ground CC up here for Masa. Another guy scouting Phoenix there for Art. Going to reveal everything that's going on. Shows the second barracks. Should even see the Raven there. Yeah, very nicely done. Cyclone will pick that off, but it has done its job admirably so. First Banshee. Just idling for a while. Masa might be waiting to get 2 Banshees together. Of course, 2 Banshees together do one shot a probe. Second Banshee humming across the map. Little expeditionary force of Stalkers. These Stalkers do have blink. Now, the Raven has prevented any observers from getting up. In fact, yeah, the observer's already gotten picked off there for Masa. So he's done a really nice job of preventing that blink from getting in. But Art taking the long way around here. Masa going to see the Stalkers moving into position here. That's a big tell. He knows that he needs to move back up to the high ground. Tank's already up there, though. The Raven should be able to take out that Observer. It's going to force a blink away from the Stalkers. Really, really nice defense there by Masa. Let's see if he can get any work done on the other side of the map here. There is nothing to defend, and these probes gonna start going down in spades. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A warp in, but, they've got cloak. Observers finally here. 13, 14, it's a massacre. 16 probes. 17 probes have gone down. It's a delight. What a beautiful play there by Massa. Art in the wrong place at the wrong time. No stalkers at home. Had to move his observer back down south. Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame. It's a damn shame. This is going to force Art across the map. 36 army slide to 46. The wall off has begun here for Massa. Third base, moving into position. Oh, no, it's not. It's just doing orbital command things. Hashtag just orbital things. Now, one tank is set up here. The other two not sieged just yet. Stalkers blinking away. They will take out one of the Cyclones there. Massa trying to lock on with another Cyclone. Very cheeky, getting another kill. Ground armor +1 about to finish up for our Protoss player. We see 1-1, only about a third of the way done here for Massa. Marine scouts out the pylon there for the fourth base that Art certainly wants to take soon. Art needs to do something drastic here if he wants to come back. The income this game favoring Massa. Stalkers again eating a siege tank shot. There's a really good spread here by Massa. No observers here to help the Stalkers blink in. Oh, what a good transition. Massa dropping some more factories, going to even things out, get a couple more siege tanks. A balanced build here from Massa. A bit of mech, a bit of bio. Scouting Phoenix, of course, going to pick it all up. Oh, not going to pick up the second one. Okay, it's fine. More medevacs coming out. Combat shield finished up. 1-1 about to finish up as well. Of all the times Art could choose to attack, this is the worst. Dorito dust on all the zealots, and they are just going to melt under these 1-1 Marines. Stim goes down, and it doesn't matter. Art GG's out, and Massa takes game number 1. Well played by our Canadian Terran player. That is effective. Very, very well done. All right, we got to swap over to the European server right now. Again, since Art is in the EU and Massa's in the US, or in Canada rather, pardon me, oh goodness gracious. We're going to swap between those two servers the entire game. Okay, waiting to see what Art is up to. Hey, Sando, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. I am on a 60-second delay, so you'll hear this a minute after you type. Okay, again, waiting on Art to hop over to the EU server. And then as soon as he does that, we will be ready to roll. Let me, his computer is a little bit slow, I know. So it might take just a moment for him to get over here. Anyhow, in the meantime, we can see if I can update my bracket here, see how good Liquipedia is. Oh, they're almost there. Guys, the link in the chat is wrong. While we're waiting on Art to swap over, I do just want to say, if you'd like to contribute to the Matcherino page, that would really mean a lot to me. It's a good way to show these players that you love them, a way to show these players that you care about them, a way to say thank you to these players for putting on such a good show. The winner of this show match the winner of this Scrim tournament only gets $40, which isn't too bad for a couple hours work. But I know the players often play for a lot more than that. So anything you can contribute to the Matcherino goes straight to the players and thanks them for the entertainment that they're giving us. Because really, without the players, we wouldn't be here at all. So if you can go to the Matcherino, use the code AXCOM27, and that'll add 50 cents to the map pool. Don't even have to sign in. Okay, here we go. There we go. Art has now appeared in the EU, and we are going to pop on over to the EU to get his map choice. Nightshade, going to be the choice of map. All right, map number 2, Nightshade, LE. Okay, Art needs just one more moment. Waiting on Art for just 1 minute to join the lobby here. And there it is. Art's ready to go. And we'll see if we're ready to go. Koba, welcome to the chat, buddy. We got both of our players in here. Waiting on the ready from Massa and from Art. And as soon as they are ready to roll, we will be ready to roll also. History and go, of course. And Massa. Come on, Massa. A little bit slow in between games here. Like I said, we are bouncing between servers. Art's PC is a little slow, so appreciate your patience and your chill as we go into the second game of the series here. Massa currently up 1-0. There's the go-go. All right. So. Sweet. Game number 2 now getting loaded up here on Nightshade LE. Boom, there we are. All right. In the top left-hand corner. In the blue. Playing Terran and hailing from Canada, it is Massa. And his opponent. In the bottom right, in the red. The pink. Try again there, in the pink. Playing as Protoss, it is Art. Optimus Carrot. Hi, buddy. Welcome to the stream. As I said, we're on a 1 minute delay here, just to make sure that there's no hinkiness going on from the players. Although speaking of hinkiness, Massa doing a little brainy play here, trying to bamboozle his opponent. So if you missed the last game, Massa. Proxy barracks, and then floated the proxy barracks into the main of Art. Art defended very well, but he still had that weird little cheesy opening. This game, Massa not walling off, building his barracks way back in the corner of his base, I think hoping to throw Art off and convince Art that he's cheesing him again, when in fact, he is not cheesing him again. He's just building his barracks in a weird spot. Happens to all of us. Factory going down now. Reaper coming out of the barracks. Reaper queued. Just to the natural here. Just going to be just fine. Since when is Massa on Alpha X? That's a good question, Fire Zerg. I'm not sure how long Massa has been with us. I think some time, though. I mean, literally, obviously some time. But I thought maybe a while. Huh. Stargate opener here for Art. We've seen him use the Stargate very effectively today. We've seen him go even double Stargate in one game to grab some more Phoenix before taking out his last opponent, B. Let's see if Art can get some more work done here with Phoenix and Oracle up against a Terran opponent. Magnath, what's up, man? Welcome. I'm casting this until for the next, oh goodness, for the next 30 minutes or so. And then I've got some bad news. Whether or not this match is over, we've got to cut the stream because I have to go cast another series starting at 5 o'clock today. There's a best of 9 with Eggs and Cuddle Bear coming up after this. So fingers crossed we can get these games cranked out and they're not too long, but it's looking like these players are both unafraid to go to the late game. Oh dear. Reapers moving forward. Hellion injured just a little bit, but it is going to be behind the Reapers. I love the tricycle skin that he's got for the Hellion. Looks so good, doesn't it? Lol, tricycle. All right. Good defense there. Ow. Hellion does get picked off, though. Nice defense by Art. Art doing really well so far. We see the Oracle is on the way. Phoenix already out. So, pardon me, first Oracle already out. Second Oracle is on the way. Nothing here to defend this natural. There is a Cyclone. Okay, Masa is going to keep it at home, so it's going to be just fine. And there it is. Oracle moving into the natural. Immediate response from Masa. 2, 3 SCVs go down. The Cyclone is going to lock on, though, and this Oracle might... Oh, no, he evades the lock on. Very beautifully done. Art's going to save that first Oracle. Second Oracle already out. Third Oracle on the way. Art going mass Oracle, baby. Ooh. Raven behind this. I love the Raven play from Terran players against Protoss. It gives you so much space, so much freedom. You take out their observers, and what do they have left? Nothing, right? Just nothing. A couple of Reapers picking down this Nexus here. Going to force a bit of an answer from Art as his Stalker and 2 Adepts come over. Oracles waiting, building up a little bit more energy before they head back in to the main base. Forge going down as well as Twilight Council for Art. Let's see these Oracles going into the main. Oh, they may be able to slow down the building of this barracks. Second barracks is going to get chosen here, or get scouted out here. Oracle going to stop the building of that barracks. Raven is here. Masa's second barracks coming down. Another barracks at the front. Fourth barracks getting added on now. Fifth barracks getting added on now. He got barracks, baby. He got lots and lots of barracks. So Masa going bio. We've seen Masa very comfortable with bio play up against Zerg in his first match against Eric. He did go bio, I think, 2 of those games, and did a pretty good job, you know. Good splitting. He had good control. Was able to really avoid some of those big Baneling hits, but, you know, Art showed us incredible micro in games 1 and 2 as well. Even in game 3, pretty good micro. Big force now, 3 Oracles and 3 Phoenix into the natural. The Ravens here might be able to disable something, but oh my god. Might have to put on the auto turret, in fact, to try and defend against this. Firing down on the auto turret, the Cyclone locks on there. 1 Phoenix and 1 Oracle do both go down, and nothing else is lost there except for the Raven. It sacrificed its life to help defend that push. That's a big loss, actually, a very expensive loss for Masa. You don't want to lose that Raven that early in the game. You want to save that for disables later in case there are Colossi out, in case there are disruptors. Really anything that you can think to interference matrix. You're going to want that Raven later. Nice Widowmine shot. That's a very good play there by Masa. Isn't actually going to kill anything, but softens all of this up. That means when the Cyclone locks on, it's certainly going to get 1 Phoenix, second Phoenix, and oh my god, a second Oracle goes down, and the Phoenix barely gets away. The Phoenix with 26 hit points barely escapes. Well done. Meanwhile, oh Masa. Oh, he's just doing it. Oh, he's just going. The boys have been pulled. No. Change of plans. Yeah, okay. No, he's still going. Oh my god, the stasis trap. Absolutely beautiful. So many Marines going down there. What's caught in that stasis trap? Look closely, friends. Marines and a Cyclone caught in the stasis trap. Gonna slow down this push of Masa. Gonna give Art the time he needs to get some more units warped in here. Another round coming through. Some more Zealots as well. Liberator wants to join this push, but it's going to be a little bit behind here. Here we go. SCV's in the front. A little bit of a bunny push there with the tanks loaded into the medevac. Tanks have now unsieged. Pretty good coverage by those tanks. Needs to be careful leapfrogging here. Sends the SCV forward to set off the stasis trap. Very well done. Setting up the stasis ward, the siege tank on the low ground. Oh god, another stasis trap goes down. 7 Marines caught in that other stasis trap. Masa has lost a lot of units to those stasis traps so far. He's got to be very cautious. Marines take out the last Phoenix. Zealots swarming in from behind to try and get cut off some reinforcements. But here we go, trying to get on top of that tank. The siege tank not going to go down, though. Both siege tanks shelling down onto the army of Art right now. Art moving forward. Some really nice stutter step, though, from Masa. The Marines unstasis now coming out. Archons up front. The Archons are going down. Masa winning a decisive fight, sacrificing all the SCV boys. Losing a couple tanks, but really doing a pretty bang-up job here. A couple of Immortals have joined the fight, but a big stim forward, and that is going to be GG, baby. Art cannot possibly hold the tank, not even bothering to siege up, but Masa's going to save it from the Immortal anyway. A very great push here by Masa. Marines rallied across the map one by one. I think Art just taking a minute to process the loss. The Natural going to fall. The reinforcement's going to be cut off by some Stalkers here. Okay. Natural going to fall. Liberator going to push forward here. Stalkers trying to get on top of the bio here. The bio from Masa separating out just a little bit. Liberator sieging up, preventing anything from moving up into the main here. The Stalkers do have blinks, so they can get up to reinforce. Huge pylon goes down, stopping the upgrades of Art. Art still thinks he's in this. I'm very surprised. Couple reinforcements getting cut off by the blink Stalkers. Stalkers being a little pernicious there, but they are going to get pushed back to this third base. Shield batteries getting set up. Small bioforce here at the front. Need to focus down the pylon, not the warp gates. Still all the unpowered warp gates going here. There we go. Pylon going down. Almost no more warp gates here for Art. As long as Masa can stay alive, he's going to be in really good shape here. Army getting cut off here. Masa needs to be very careful. All these reinforcements distracting the blink Stalkers, though. Stalkers doing a pretty good job. That said, the medevacs are quite low on energy right now. Low energy medevacs mean a very, very squishy army from Masa. Masa needs to take a break, heal up these units, but he simply can't afford to. He simply can't stim either. Masa actually might be in a little bit of trouble here as Art's army getting even larger. Meanwhile, Masa back home, not building any more SCVs, way behind on economy, but Art doesn't have any more. Okay, he's repowered 3 of his gateways. He can warp in 3 units at a time. The Bioforce is actually getting a little bit smaller here for Masa. Art, however, losing some Stalkers as well. All the shield batteries getting reduced to almost 0 energy here. This could be the hold of the century. More Marines coming across. Art gonna stop for a minute. Masa gonna wait. Sit back on his haunches. SCV attacking the assimilator. Get it, SCV! Oh, okay, never mind. Ooh, Art not going to end the game with that push. A little surprising. Income tab, of course, in favor of Art. Immortal hanging out by those shield batteries. Doesn't want to get taken down. If he loses that Immortal, he's in a lot of trouble. Art's got to have an itchy trigger finger. These blink Stalkers can't afford to be lost. Observer. Quick Billy going to stim forward to see what he's up against. This bio army looking much more healthy. A good pickoff on a medevac. That was a full energy medevac. The other 3 medevacs very low. First stim out of Masa. Art retreating. Oh god, so many probes about to get roasted though. All these probes trying to long distance mine. This could be Art's real problem here right now, actually. Right now his only advantage in this game is that he had way more probes. That said, Masa has so much more army. 1 siege tank now engaged into the Natural. Bunch of probes hidden behind here. Well, 5 probes hidden behind here. Masa's going to move a battalion up to the main. Again, needs to try and depower some of these gateways. More reinforcements from the back, cutting off these blink Stalkers. Might not quite have enough. Masa just going to stim forward here. There's nothing left. The Stalkers trying to blink away. The shield batteries have a little bit of energy left, but Masa is sustaining this push. 2 siege tanks have now arrived. Masa's got to be very cautious with these siege tanks. Needs to get them set up. Moving 1 up to the high ground here. Masa going to set up shop in Art's main base. Again, Masa busily depowering gateways here. Wants to make sure that Art can't reinforce. Yeah, Art knows that he hasn't got this one. He's going to GG out, and Masa is going to take game number 2, leading by 2 games to 0 now. Congratulations to Masa. Mazel tov, if you will. I'll be danged. Okay, we got to head back over to the America region, where Art is going to be able to choose map number 3. Art, of course, the loser here. So loser chooses the next map. All right, so Art's going to choose the map as soon as he gets over here. In the interim, guys, thanks for joining us. This is game number 2 here in the best of 7 finals between Massa and Art. The winner walks away with $40 in their pocket. The loser only 20. So these guys really fighting it out to see who is going to come out on top. I want to thank everyone in the chat for joining me this afternoon. I have had a great time casting this best of 7. It is, sadly, looking a little bit more like I'm not going to be able to finish this best of 7. If it does go for another 20 minutes, which it's looking like it probably will, I'm going to have to switch over as I have another commitment at 5 o'clock that does have higher priority than this show match. So we've probably got at least one more game, though. It's only 4:20 now. Woo! 4:20! As soon as Art gets here, guys, we'll start on the next game. I'm going to throw 1 minute on the clock, and then we'll get in to game number 2, hopefully as soon as Massa gets here. Okay, and we are back. Thanks for your patience, guys, as Art swaps over to the North American server. We're trying to be as fair as we can here. So we're doing every other game, North America, EU. North America, EU. This is the 3rd game. And that's going to be it. So we're now getting into the countdown for game number 3. Massa up 2. Art currently at 0. Yikes. Excuse me. All right, game is now loading up. Art and Massa, game number 3. Boom. All right. In the top right-hand corner in the blue, from Alpha X and Canada, it is Massa. And his opponent in the bottom right in the pink, also from Alpha X, but hailing from Poland, it is Art. Excited to see what these champs have for us today. Games 1 and 2 have been pretty exciting. Massa winning game number 2 a little bit more quickly than I think anybody expected. Doing a really nice job there with an early game all in. Pulling the boys. Bio, tank, medevac all in. Man, Marine tank medevac is still so strong. This game has been out for 10 years now. And medevacs and Marines are still just tippity top if you've got good control. So congrats to Massa for playing really well. Currently up 2 games to 0. One final reminder. If you haven't contributed to the Matcherino, I think most of you watching the stream probably have, but if you haven't had the chance yet, please do. Hop over to the Matcherino page and use the code AXCOM27, and that'll add 50 cents that goes straight to our players, divvied out equally as the prize pool dictates between our 4 players. Every cent of that prize money going to the players to say thank you for the great show that they put on for us today. These players holding nothing back, not quitting, never surrendering. Doing really well so far. Naturals going down for both players here. We see the first Stalker in production for Art. Factory behind the barracks. Everything standard so far. These guys. Pretty good matchup. Yeah, Masa actually struggled in his first best of 5 up against Eric. If you missed it earlier, Masa won the first 2 games pretty handily. And then Eric mounted what we all thought was going to be an incredible comeback, winning the next 2 and taking it to a rubber match. That said, Game 5 happened and Masa was able to clinch the very close victory over Eric. Art, of course, handily 3-0's B at the beginning of his series, putting him out to dry, as it were. Widowmine in production now for Masa, as well as the Starport. Looks like we may be a little bit of a drop here. Yeah, first medevac coming out there. Widowmine on the way. Second Widowmine behind this. Siege tank behind this. Not going to be a Widowmine drop. That Widowmine just going to scramble its way forward. I love this. Look at this. Masa has control of the center of the map. Uses that Xel'Naga watchtower to make sure there's nothing suspicious, super suspicious coming his way. And he's going to use that to sneak his Widowmine out for a more aggressive opening push. Scouting Phoenix, of course, for Art is going to see everything that's going on here. We'll keep an eye on this medevac. Marines will kill that hallucination. Take it down. Blink now being chronoed out for Masa, or for Art rather. More Stalkers on the way. A Liberator to support the push as well. Blink on the way. Double Gateway getting added on. And a Robo as well. All the standard stuff you would expect, just as Masa begins to move out. Medevac with a tank and some more Marines. Masa looking to be very aggressive again this game. Blink still about 30 seconds, 20 seconds away from being finished here. And Masa going straight up into the main base. Oh no, he's not. Okay, he's going to unload on the low ground here. Bio coming from behind. Widowmine baits. Oh god, he baits those Stalkers into the Widowmine shot. Art taking a lot of damage really early on. Medevac spotting here is going to depower a gateway and the cybernetics core. Now Blink is going to finish, so that tank may be in a bit of a tough spot. But Masa so far with a really, really good start. Oh man, the SCV does get picked off. The bunker not going to be able to get built there. He will cancel the bunker. Stalkers on the wrong side of the map right now, though. Cancels the cybernetics core. Oh man, luckily second cybernetics core already on the way to building it. Siege tank taken out of gateway. I'm wondering why Masa isn't picking up and loading in. Liberator outside the natural right now. Forces the recall. Meanwhile, picking off so many probes here. 2 probes go down, 3 probes go down before that is taken down, and that's going to give Masa the chance he needs to unload those Marines onto the high ground. Zealots coming in, but the bio should be there to buffer for the tank. Zealots only going to get some bio taken care of there. Immortal has finally arrived. Tank loading some shots down. Medevac goes down. This is going to end the push for Masa for sure, but it has done quite a bit of damage. Slows down the cybernetics core, takes out the couple of pylons, loses 3 probes. Interesting. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? I think that was a bit of a draw, honestly. A very exciting draw. You see, Masa, I think, wanted to do more damage than just 3 probe kills. It was a very cute idea to move that Liberator in, but by sheer stroke of luck, Art had already recalled those Stalkers back from their position outside the 3rd. Or what could be the 3rd here. So as soon as the Liberator sieged up, the recall immediately happened. The Stalkers took down the Liberator, and the Stalkers were able to move into the main base and sort of sandwich these units between some Zealots. I think Masa wanted to get more done there than he got done. That said, Masa is no quitter. Again, with the tanks in the medevac, again moving forward, again ready to set up this very aggressive tank positioning onto that ramp Colossi is out now, but there's a big stim. The Colossi taking huge damage. First Colossi goes down in no time. What a big pickup there for Masa. Art really struggling. Stalker's going to get on top of these siege tanks here. One siege tank goes down. Second siege tank almost certainly going to go down as well. The Bio going to chase these Stalkers down. Oh my god, the siege tank gets one last shot off. Bio is going to take off a couple more of those Stalkers. First Colossi was the big win, though, for Masa. Reinforcing army. Picks off the Observer. Very nicely done. Masa going to heal up, move up the ramp, and rotate around, trying to check and see if there's a third there. He's going to be disappointed to see if there's no third to put pressure on. Hasn't seen that yet, but he will see the army of Art also rotating around. He's going to force a big pickup here. Ouch, one medevac does go down. Second empty medevac will get out of there alive. Widowmine still coming out of the factory there. Marauders getting added in now for a little more bulk in this army. We see a second Colossus on the way now for Art. Technically third Colossus, but remember the first one did go down. Blink Stalkers working their way around the map, checking for proxies, checking for a way to get in. Third base now established for Masa. Widowmines to defend. Warp Prism is on the way for Art. Another starport going down here for Masa. Lots of Vikings already in production to fight against the Colossi threat, but look at this, Colossi production has ceased from Art. Upgrade advantage for Masa. No forge yet for Art. Moving into Disruptor tech. I think that's a really nice choice there. Disruptors can be so effective against bio units. All right. And that means that Art is going to move across the map here. Art with a very scary looking army right now. And Masa, moving around the map just a little bit. I'm not sure that Masa has chosen a very good time. He's going to see those zealots moving in. He's going to stim and catch what he thinks are just two zealots, but in fact going to run into the entire army of Art here, which is going to chase him way back home. This is going to be that Masa, okay, with the high ground actually and some good kiting, Masa's going to be able to use all those zealot charges and then hopefully get back to a safer location, trying to bait this army into some Widowmine shots. That does mean that Art's going to be able to establish himself between the natural and the third here. Masa going to need some nice acrobatics to get himself out. SCVs have been pulled. Guardian shield down. Widowmines shooting off their loads have been cleaned up now. A big warp in from Art. 7 more zealots getting warped in here. This is looking really good for Art. So far, Masa has lost 28 SCVs. His bio forces are getting smaller and smaller, but all the Colossi have been taken down. Disruptor shots being dodged beautifully there by Art. And I think with the reinforcements, Masa is going to be able to pull this one. I don't know how he did it. I don't understand how he did it. But somehow, unbelievably, he is going to chase Art back. Art is going to GG out, and Masa is going to take game number 3, putting him 1 game away from a clean sweep victory. Masa currently up 3-0. The time is now 4:32. All right, we've got to swap over to the European server here. And we're going to wait and see which map Art would like for map number 4. So as soon as Art gets over here, we will get started. Waiting on Art here. Art's been a little bit slow to migrate over. I think he said his computer is maybe not the best computer in the world. And then as soon as he gets over here, we will be ready to roll. Okay. What a game. Wow. Masa up 3-0 right now, waiting on Art. And there he is. Okay. All right. Masa and Art, game 4 coming at you quite soon here. Art is just joining the lobby. And we're going to get into it. There it is. Match number 4 coming at you quite soon. Now, guys, I will say there's a very small chance that in the middle of this game, I may have to leave. I have another commitment to stream today. There's an Alpha X show match going on between Eggs and Cuddle Bear, and I have to hit that one. That is apparently a higher priority than this tournament. So, should this game go longer than 15 minutes, I may have to leave in the middle of the game to cover this other event, which is going to be absolutely tragic. I hope that that's not what happens. But should it happen, please do not despair. I will give you guys the chance to hopefully get rid of this game. Or get finished with this game. Pardon me. Hopefully finish this game. But we will see. All right. In the bottom. Right-hand corner in the blue. 1 game away from flawless victory. Playing Terran from Canada and Team Alpha X, it is Masa. And his opponent. In the top right, in the pink, hailing from Poland and also Team Alpha X, it is Art. All right, so Masa building the barracks first here in the normal position. No proxies, no nothing special, nothing weird in the back of his base. All is well in the world of Masa right now, even banking up plenty of minerals. So as soon as that finishes, he'll be able to get that orbital command out and start dropping them sweet, sweet mules. Probe gets in, sees there's nothing hinky going on, is going to get out of there right away. Orbital command and Reaper on the way. Natural for Art has been dropped. Cybernetics core behind that as well. Helps to wall off so that the Reaper can't get up that cliff. Has to go in through the main, or in through the natural, and up into the main. I love World of Sleepers. I think it's such a great map. It's got a lot of options here with this mineral field down here that you can harvest to give yourself access to the third base, or deny access to the third base of your enemies. It's a really nice map. Plus, purple's my favorite color. It's aesthetically very pleasing. Big fan. Masa's Reaper heading across the map now. Factory bunker behind this. First Stalker on the way out for Art. Ooh, interesting. Looks like Masa is actually going to build a reactor onto his barracks with a factory right next to it. That timing looks like it may actually line up. So he may be swapping over to the factory with the add-on for possibly double Widow Mine production? Maybe double Hellions, we'll have to see. And yep, factory's going to come up. Going to come over. And double Hellion production. Very nicely done. All right. That Reaper get cleaned up? Ooh, the Reaper did get cleaned up with no kills here. Let's take a look at Masa's vision and see what he can see. Okay, so he did see the starport getting built there. So he knows that he's up against some Oracle play and will need to have something out that can shoot upward. Right now, he just has those Hellions and 1 Marine. So if the Oracle gets out here, it might have a lot of fun right now. Okay, first Viking in production. Nope. Cancels the Viking. Changes to a medevac. Okay, Widow Mine's coming out. Relying on those Widow Mines to defend against this Oracle. And now, you know me, I love a good Widow Mine shot on an Oracle as much as the next guy. Let's see if Masa can make it work. Oracle is coming in. Oh, nope. Oracle is going to bounce right back out. Okay. Those Hellions with 8 kills so far. 10 kills, that's enough. It's a GG. That's going to end it, folks. Masa slipping those Hellions in, going to end the game unbelievably quickly. And ends the series as well. Hokey smokes, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Masa with a big win, 4-0. I don't even know what to say. Unbelievable play there for Masa, slipping those Hellions in. Very, very well done on his part. And with that, Masa takes first place, followed by Art. Art taking away $20 and Masa taking away $40. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us for this edition, number 9 of the Alpha X Scrims. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you have the chance, please do hop over to my Twitch channel, which is just Twitch/Creighton Olsen. And if you want to see more of my casting, you can find me right over there. I'm also on Twitter at Creighton Olsen. Thanks to Alpha X and all of our sponsors for putting this event on. And I will be over on Africa TV streaming again very shortly. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us, and have a wonderful day.